everybody. Mbemobe Kontona. We are in. We are in. We are in. This Sunday again. Mbesetina. Alialo nala system and technical. No problem. We'll function. Hello, everybody. We are in. We are in. I am so excited today. I have my special brothers here. Nko. Na ala tentu kotake. Na ala tentu. Imu di masolet. The maso means a lot. The maso mu minute. Gambia service nka wala offer. Mfanan na busy schedule obe nyaonya. Nsinana nga doko ke Gambia ndingwe. Ndolu mako di soto. Malon di soto. Mamfengo fen soto. Baren se mol samba na mini alon ko sa kacha ke no nyum platform moto. Min nyoso hakilo. Mbal tentula mbal jayila. Ning clear to purkata. Please, let me know if we are clear to go. I cannot afford any glitch. First of all, I'm really fired up and I welcome everybody. Badingol fere sirinja. Nali Santa Jive, jana. No brother lem. Ahmad Gitteh. Nkaya Gitteh ako. Nkaya ko inanaman na Binto Media Network. Barese Kenya oya. Mesitis na mesitin ko. Abe campaign filo la to fa tata no man ninna jalo nga long kanan doro nga sabana. Ako nyoko wantem problem Binto. Campaign filo aning kana media to abe mukilinet especially Binto Media Network grassroots. Nali janjibe du manja. Jamale vije nko tamba jiron ne. Ndoka file tamba jiron no retreat no surrender nka kubandu wala nkali alon. Wata kanaja naga kachake. Ngaten tunga jayi. But brother nyin being a sambana ma sambana APRC toya. So nabe kachakela kachaku marimba nko ngajata fulana sotoja. Nko wala na binga necktie ali enje. Necktie ngana necktie karola because nga strong brothers ole soto na njam. Ikela service of a Gambia. Agree or disagree? Ikela domandingo contribute and untolu nge appreciate back nim platform o jang amanka mo kilin tati nka men fali so mbeduna kachato malafka anytime waste at all inaduna kachato bismillah brother Solumbal tilinyanna assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa
brother Gitteh.
Naam.
Ngeten tungejayi. Yala na nga fo edu malanko ko nimbulo se sila rumbe da patolo ko to nyofote. Bare yam fatel. Yam fatel. So ninna timo be ngeten tungejayi. Ibela hajo mimbela. Ya tuje nata ko fon ininga kacha. Andu nge appreciate wala. Andu Gambia no min bina dun kannan ibina njibela yeten tuyejayi. Tamba.
Yes.
Yalo ite alonde abenya mela sister benya. So nge sambana mbi nge tentu nge jayi. Mbina kachakela. Agree or disagree. Bare mbenga mineje Gambia. Lafta Gambia la sambala nyato. Nsafo ko biyabe tambale bulama sambaku. Jita ko atala ba sambala no. Better than tamba. Wodorono na disagreement. Bare ninga kisi ntolda mal. Fawante. I love you both. Lafta Gitteh dunne content rock. Bismillah.
Ngalo nyiwo akamunda mbe kanjama lel fola kodi.
Ha mbatu nga kangolo tala folo because sa mba keleja. Ito be suru aka onin karoni ka kangolo fola. Tambabe fula ka onin serer le fola. Okay, bismillah.
Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Mbari musombe kondona.
Bismillah.
Meta I follow la back. Adung meta kachala fanang adung mbenga natanum purunga benjang. Sinya jama bari mansara la mang natala ma lajin. Yo momorondi ning atuma ko be jibero la nyin temben dunia dawda. Mbe kontona from the Republic of the Gambia. Kafale ko Gitteh Ahmad, a founding member of the National People's Party, a strong supporter of the current coalition government under the leadership of President Adama Barrow. Adum fanang, funding ke mundi. Bitung kachase dia inshallah yemin polom. Miral nyal se fada bari the denominator mi alon ko beden dala wolum Gambiati. Ite akanu bari mselafi nga banko iriwandi ni silo Lamin alol fatata. Bari mbe mobe kondona wrong for now. Kafumbari musu kendo e abaraka ebedo ku nyima minna banko e ka platform o minta e ka made available mol kana je ka ideas all exchange anim fana ka contribution okay towards the national discourse odon be kondo na back ngala mo la ne jibe lal be kondo.
Bismillah Tamba.
Hello, assalamu alaikum Binto Bantaba network. I'm in the host fango. Queen Binto Jataba, Abaraka Bate, ila network o dal, albedo ko men na Gambia bele baje kansai. I told you one of the most neutral network menka platform o di mobela. Momo e men sota ba fola kana ila network o to. So ala baraka baka ni la juber lal ni lamor lal. We appreciate them because wate the time more dedicated la kana ke lamo molla. And in co-panelists Gitteh, a difference of parties le support but cooking yentol be unite yentol be membe sirinja walem Gambia kanote and Gambia la yatota yo niaje mbebe party different party to atelata mennante malawala atelata mennane malawala ya mayla yo atelata menna ntenga mira ko wala Gambia samba nyati so ate fengo fen soto abe mem folaje ate ayitandi molla attending MPP be Gambia samba nola nyato nyame nta ba fola ele ko APRC ntol nyanta Gambia samba la nyame wala nte fan sun kungo nga Gambia la nga Gambia jube abe taka nyame bi nsen na londo kafun nyoni mo nambe jube wala ni nambe la moy ala baraka bake. Thank you very much.
Okay. Brother Gitteh, first question on left your own honest opinion on wala na question o miminti nga mol jele be palaso li nyine kam mo jama parti jama I registrata malo mo jele binala as presidential candidate but so far so good at least nga 18 jele with some independent ite amira nyum mol be ibe Gambia la interest sotole at heart but jamale best interest Gambia la best interest soto at heart.
Well yalong that's a very good question. It's difficult to judge sakomol mi alonko inenaman doku ke mansa kundai ilate lode ko nga Gambia la interest at heart aga kole ala purialom bari ndela jeroto as an individual ndanga nyinne jikiko President Adama Barrow atelebe nyim banko sambanola nyimmol be kono right now. I don't believe tako mole mati mi alonko at be molu kono mi alon they have Gambia's best interest at heart. He might not be the only one among the candidates to have the best interest of Gambia at heart, but I believe in addition to having Gambia's best interest at heart, atalo moti mi alonko he is well positioned pour kanyim banko samba anyanta tala dame. Nintamo en allow mbe ol discourse lale mi atinantenga o mira
ha lafte o fonye ila
already track record sol bije among all the presidential aspirants right now minube manse anyine kan mo killing wala be kaito bala mi alonko molsa akonti bono atem moti mi alonko at least I manse yake for almost 5 years sign jannate kana mimbe banko kanjang amammo kumpa problem jama soro rajang kabrala mansa kunda nata one of the biggest problems means sort of the rights of the people. Molia feel ko their rights are not being valued. Molia feel fanako ila freedoms of expression, association, problemol bije. But ni ajibe, alhamdulillah, people are in fact over empowered because mol selon ojang ye mansaneng. Ye kumo be fo adama baroma ya bane ye kul be fama. Bara be sabarli, handing modol babala fa ka kamfa akama. Mingbe wo sabaro sotola candidate sol kono min lafta manse ala bi ntamaji yo fulanjam fanan ne media chibe media freedom obe keri janna kana the number of newspapers ani radio min be nyim banko ka ani television olu ima wosiake adun hanni bijang ebe min foleke hakilotu bi molie fansoto radio lie fansoto newspaper be savero kala minu diate nina dam fanal dammal fanal temul jibe president baro ba kata kam baake pour kamol reconcile because banko pour adama dingol banko e tama ayatara signol manke kilindi ayatara satel mi alon ko be nyobale manke kilindi community manke kilindi aka kole a baake pour wo sate o walla o community etano nyat niye reforms wal jibe min yalon ko conventionally molka walla fanal jibe ibatara ko molbe complain ole ko there was zero reforms kabrin president baronata in the government ngatara civil service kono there were about 3,500 ghost workers. Many along they were receiving salaries from PMO. Gambia government neke Joe every month, but President Adam Barola Mansakunda assessment okay. Yeah, Tarako about 3,500 of these people that are, on monthly basis receiving salary were ghost workers. For more dollar kera salary, which is, the most likely case, wo stop. Me along Kwai Gambia save hundreds of millions of dollars. Nina the security sector reform jibe. We have our national defense policy and in other defense documents, security sector documents, mini alonko, Mansakunda be, I work out ka make so security institutional sort of mini along is a Gambia represent adung is a 24th century institutionality and can supply the needs of 24th century security demands. Inina da fanan na foreign policy yau fana jibe President Adam Barrow anin Gambia nin dunia la friendship saying alhamdulillah dunia ye nyatilin na nga nyatilin dunia la aliyakala mutale ko Commonwealth was one institution me alonko we were a part of but in Botaje for some political reasons by the former president and his government. Muruntanang Commonwealth has a lot of benefits for our country. Adung fana kola fana nimbanku jamal mini alonko issues benni tema diplomatically. I mean we restored full diplomatic relations. Senegal is one country, me along, until we believe is very paramount to Gambia's security, to Gambia's economic development, and to Gambia's stability as a nation. Coming from Namoli Nyame, near America Jibe, and in Canada, Ibuka Kukenonyo Koma. Senegal in Gambia, Famola, geography in Niajibe is even wale fang sutiara dina US nin Canada. So nin Senegal la nyomoyo abe mako la ka Gambia stabilize as a mako fanan kan na security nyin ka strengthen ani economic development finance sorono banku fulol tema. The most important perhaps of all these me alonko President Adam Barola Mansakunda antenga jeko President Barolo Mansoti me alo nyanta palaso dilala on the infrastructural development. There was a time a journalist Odolmoy Eco road constructions are not development. Molka mistake bulk mbari muso. Niajibe dunia ndolbe, the part of the world that we live, that is the United States, UK, Canada, Australia, in the advanced world, their number one priority since inception was infrastructural development, whether it is electricity infrastructure or road infrastructure. Nianyil Soto, these are the bedrocks for development. Nil after Banco develop for a movement of goods and services, for you make sure you facilitate. Near economy so they will tell you one of the fundamental factors of economic development is the movement of goods and services. And this is only possible when you have robust and very vibrant infrastructure in place. So President Adama Barrow na I anyatiling infrastructure a lot. I kodomin depense from the national budget is huge. Banjulbe okono, Banjulbe develop kang be sewage system o bil kanje. The health ministry is saying in fact malaria rate has reduced to about 60 to 80% because sewage system Banjul Ibadada Kanyame. We have places like URR, Dame Alonko, Dulal Dol Silol Tenunje, Dulal Dolu Ferio Lekatanunje, Kabopase Katawuli, Nim Ferio Edela times a ways, Nilafta ka Muskonoma Samanang Kabonang Wuli ka Crossna Base, Nim Ferio Yaldang Alka Kulundi Molta. Kulunjama Kupita was Silo Kambaseni Wuli Tema, Mojamal Niol Tutaje. Ni wol dolu alhamdulillah boka ke bayri brijole bije so mo jama bije mi alonko I botana wo mafangol lay nata combo because infrastructural development o mansore la mafango bi wol dolbe say kanne ipida kan ka very good structure lo ka business all starting base. So electricity fanala mi alonko is another infrastructure ale OMVG la fenko jele a project ko jele mini alonko they are in at the advanced stage. So near Jibe with Hakalang roads, President Adama Barrow is doing a lot. Adung wo basis olu near doku near provide development and progress in a nation kicks off and moves at a very fast rate. So in short, miracle for these reasons and many more as we move on, President Adama Barrow is the person today on the ballot box, you can assess and examine him. He's the only one with track records, and I believe he's the man that deserves to be elected into office on the 4th of December 2021 by God's grace.
Okay. Let me talk to these people. Nko, ntola moto mo mintija respect all. I do not want to disgrace a grown-up man sitting behind your keyboard, yetara mol nenka. Nite o katole no, tenuni betara sirinjan. So we don't want that. We don't want our children and grandchildren to come watching our videos. Kafoko nyun kanendirol lekeja. So my team is down there. Nali asiamba ibal bulokla andume berebale fon talangala alka. Okay. Tamba.
Yes.
If you have any reply what Gitteh said, and you have, please tell us who have Gambia's best interest at heart.
Yo, nga Gitteh la diamo kango moyle.
Okay.
Abaraka bake Ahmad Gitteh ngela diamo kango moyle, but ntanga menjeje wala Gitteh memboy fojang. From the beginning to the end. Ntaba divide la into different sections. Promol sa long munni be diamo kang ni nata fadna menko memboko. Mol coming for who's got Gambia's best interest. Yeah? Okay. Ika jubele government la policy be nyameng pour ya determine you male Gambia la best interest soto. So first and foremost, munem Adama Barrow ning NPP policy Fenkoti in terms of foreign affairs, domestic security, economic policy, communication, medical services, education, agriculture, sovereignty, and territorial integrity. Near government Jube, this is why we have about 15, 16 ministerial positions. So Nika government Jube, Puria long Jumale Gambia la best interest soto, Ika Jube waleto. Barola first time tengaji nyameng is a total failure. And I'll start ala supporter solka memfo, I freedom le samana Gambia, but nga dati water follow. Jamwele. Because media mo ko ha mol kam mansa nenjanne fembuke muta media be operate kam fembuke muta. So let's suppose because ni be government diamo kan eka example o tale from Barola predecessors ye muneke. Baroe muneka ka cool improve from that going forward. You understand? So nga start eka jaimen na ka foko kaira mansalem hinante mansalem peaceful manolem. Let's go back. The most recent history, Walamia Jamela Renti, when he was in power. So, Iko Baro, freedom of speech, I owe Bamban the Gambia back in democracy. So, nga Jube first. Freedom of expression, freedom of assembly. Nga Baro access water first. Because our supporters, so that's the only card it can may use. Walam Baro la only ability to abedame. So Baro kabrum Baro nata government I muneke first. Baro la government ya muneke kabra duntanam first. Even before abe duntanam first and foremost. And Natale he got sworn in again at Independence Stadium, Independence Day on the 18th of February 2017. Wolungole Baro swear at Independence Stadium. So for me, effectively Wolungole ala first mandate start as the Gambian president. Our act before that was illegal because Senegalese forces can deploy Gambia to wage war on his people. That was illegal in the first place. But ngata freedom of speech and freedom of assembly. Kaburum Baronata Muneketa first, Fonyi call, Kamfendan call ni UDP supporters all Menata independence. Walebe Sekam on the 19th of February, Katala Santo Sate Alto. In Kamfendan call Sonkata. Ye wall bula UDP supporters all bula wall Seta ye Kamfendan called 51 of them arrests, including a pregnant woman and an 11-year-old. Ye detained for 2 weeks. Yes, 11-year-old in Yingamera after 2-3 days. Ye obulale. The other one, pregnant woman, bija for night for Akonola. You understand? Woman ke freedom of expression ti, woman ke democracy ti. Ni mo sonkata ikeleta hani ijikita ko killing tonye ike fulo le arrest yesamba police station alto yela statement alta you charge them wala niko nyinebe on the wrong you charge you all free no you come down call 51 of them you all done the arrest you detained for 2 weeks in that case in drop because your geleko case has no merit so come down call you monake you been call according to come down call you provoke the boss auto so in your name. Secondly, Munaketa Barola government, APRC candidate in Fonyi Bintang Winter Jang 2017. Ibela celebration olla in a UDP call Keleta. Ya Munake, itata APRC mole arrest. Yes, somebody, my party tata je, ala speech was not nice. Manta repeat la fang because Malafikata tribalism side auto. I want to avoid on every political platform public platform Malafika tribalism diamoje. Even behind the scenes, Malafika tribalism diamoje. My fati tata kanil Sibanor. I meant for je mbele ngamoy. Still under Barrow government. Mofula Sonkata, you take action against one, yodo bla frita. Afterwards, munanata ke Gambia koteng. Kanila call funtita. Iko be protest la in Mbana soul. Iko, they want to end the militarization of their village. You understand? Their village was militarized. Their life was under scrutiny every single minute. If a turn ladula soldado DJ, their freedom of movement was restricted. Their right to privacy was restricted. Well, protest was peaceful. Nobody had a knife, nobody had a gun, nobody had stones. In fact, protest in Facebook Live. iko bita kamfenda to continue their march ye bali. They stopped them. So kabri ye stop itata panuol motosingle sigadan yowal mala. That was no threat to anyone's property. Amanke threat to anyone's life. Ye kidolta ye kanilankol bung ye kilim faje ye motanin saba ye barama. Mum freedom of speech la wati. Mum freedom of assembly la wati. Mum government sifa le ka manya sifa ke niko democracy yola samba na Gambia. Mbota je ntata faraba nkol funtita jang ibe ila balamba ya yitandi kan membe ke kam faraba ye bung ye fakido la jang ya jammela ren 22 years si nya clean protest keta ye mo bunkido la ifata wolem year 2000 ya moyle civilian ol funtita kata protest ye bunkido la ifa on the Barrow it happened 3 times, 2 of them fatal, the third one on you woman na fatal wolem busumbalati busumbala fanan APS in UDP le cluster je. So barola democracy and in freedom of expression and in freedom of speech. Ale funding APS convoy man futa manka mankunda domandi binana drive or fala je. And they hurt several other APS supporters. Manka kunda fangoto. APS la convoy bitala hajo la be political killer. Mun freedom si fala wati.
Okay.
3 years jotna funtita janne iko be protest la. Fo me kosi jam fo mo killing nga kuntu. Yo, so that's one thing. Ikanganya menna ko baromu democratolity, freedom of expression samanan. Yaya jamele radio station and in online TV atela proliferate Gambia. Yaya james lota janne platform auto ako. Momo ka neng ya bula please. Among times so to put moment ka neng. Until B mo kilinte lola fo ko ya jameng arrest because of your neng. Bantol nga jele Omar Toure arrest nunjang baro under baro. Ya video iba tocho kam moto kono until he was appealing Omar Toure ye Rambo pick janne ye Fabaka Tomo Njata pick janne ye Landi Mane pick janne ye APRC Baitula pick janne ye Mo Jamale pick APRC for speaking up freedom of speech lebe on the Barrow. You understand it? Ngata foreign policy iko ya jame mol bondi Commonwealth ha tonyale ya jame mol bondi Commonwealth munati na mol bondi Commonwealth ibukaw dalilo ko de tubabol kasi janne ikamol dictate ikafumol ye ali nyinke boni koy ko tubabol ali nyinke ye bang yes kabo Commonwealth maybe it was not well advised but now Gambia bondi Commonwealth Gambia doesn't benefit a lot from the Commonwealth namanke da the right scholarship policy kamendi mola now and again. Commonwealth is only benefiting the British monarch. Simple. You understand? It's a good society. It's good to have that fraternity between Gambia and the international community. Problem Tala. But Commonwealth is not bringing us any. Ajube all Commonwealth nations also. What great benefit do they have from the Commonwealth? So near Ajube Commonwealth, Baro Entol Murnije. Britain, the crown of the Commonwealth. Yemuneke, Femang Africa Investment Summit or Commandijang. Munat na Baro snub. What's the problem between Barrow, the government, and in Britain? All of a sudden, England, Buka Barrow invite Commonwealth and in foreign government, UK Africa investment. In Mira, Gambia is a former colony of Britain. It had a Senegal invite, ye Gambia snub, Gambia mang invite. Barola foreign policy le. Barola foreign policy. For Barola man signature sign and in Senegal, joint security deal. Gitteh men for Tonyalem. In Senegal, nte kele nola, nte nyo hate nola, but Senegal, ibuka the same respect kika menola. Senegal fele la first foreign policy move kabirung jamme botaje. Wala ka cashew embargo londi Gambia kan. 30 million euro trade. Gambia ka wala soto non cashew trade. Senegal yo embargo dundina. Senegal la soldarol ke ka Gambia no bindina for Gambian soil. Ye bunki dola ye fa wala ye barama. But Gambia criminal crime cause adunta Senegal obuka funtina. Nintol sula ta fenna Senegal. Nika sukuru poti killing samba Senegal. Senegal el ba busila la douanol e ba busila le. But fontol la pompitero anina jabol anina domor fengol anim fen jama Gambia bi abuka bonan Senegal. Foreign policy jumale bije. Baro fela abukata UN General Assembly anymore. Afele EU ye visa restriction or fele ba dundi kan Gambia muna baro la government le man dilo sanjang in EU pour ka Gambia 20,000 Gambia dingol membe Europe ke murundi na Gambia what foreign policy sifa Gambia be mun nafala sotolaje considering the fact that Gambia la foreign exchange arguably one of the largest ones if not the largest is Gambians abroad remittances you understand
okay
role of foreign policy yaya jamme sita wo dilo to le ka dilo sana in EU fenkol bankol 150 million euros
okay Lamin say jama bala for let Gitteh reply then you continue
thank you so much once again mbe kondona bake there are things here many along for discussing them would be a bit sensitive but let me talk about the policy aspect of these matters. In the UK, in the United States, in England, in Sweden, in Germany, in Canada, on paper, you have freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of association. But then you have the security mi alonko. Nimol fundida US ikwekada demonstration ola dolbi ikwekada Capitol Hill. Wala mol fundida idara demonstration ola in New York, in central London. There are moments when police holding civilian ol kadunyola. Now, if you have a security institution, many alonko itolom expert salty in the way they deal with the matters. They are deemed necessary, which is actually lawful core. A particular demonstration, a particular assembly is not going to be peaceful, is not going to be non-violent. Sojarol nim police only rights under particular acts under our laws. Puru yo assembly quell yo peaceful demonstrations, quote unquote, stop from happening. Again, akawatol mimfoteng these were in about 2017, early 2018. We still have an institution of securities. Many alonko they are going through reforms. Ndol barone namang sojar kutata. Barone namang police kutata dokola, barone namang intelligence kutata dokola. Ya jamme minutanu kabirin kunu walel bije. They were operating in a certain way for 22 years. Gambians felt their way or mode of operandi wasn't democratic, wasn't peaceful, wasn't as per the laws of our country. But in mommy mentality sort of for 22 years in 2016 okeda, 2017 demonstration okeda, how do you expect that individual to just overnight or within a split of second to throw away all that mentality and mode of operation for 22 years I now become let's say adopt a strategy me alonko international standards here will request. Woka koleale. Minkeda Kanilai was very sad, but Gambian security lebije, mini along Barola Mansakunda may train. This was early 2017. The loss of life is very, very regrettable. At the same time, aka kamfenda amin for UDP koluni APRC kolmin kwada. Again, this is early 2017, 2018. We are speaking from the perspective of most of the time emotions. Amefonyinka, these are people that I share the same party with. Anika Mimfanambondije, we belong to the same tribe. These are things that more basically hey, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want this to come on the platform. But in reality, these are things that are deep rooted in us, in our blood, and they manifest on different platforms. The political temperature was very high. Kabiru Okuolbe Keri. Kabirin Sonko Keda. At least UDP Nkolu wal manta ye nyapinyil kang ye bute wala fonyin kolu ay min fo kam fenda wolmanta e nyapinyil kang ye bute ida malle dundanyola dolbe moto kono dolbe lori kabiri dundanyola there were uniformed men. These uniformed men were Gambians. There were Jolas among them, there were Fonyinkas among them, Kiankas among them, people from Combo among them, and there were Batibunkas among them. Wollelie problemo taraje, wollel mu security, the police all minalon, they are in charge of what you are talking about. Puriye mol samba police wala yenyin karo ke nimmo fule kelo ke samba station odo. We have a station at Kamfenda, Kabirin Sonko Keda. The police that were stationed there questioned these people, and they, in there, you know, I mean, for whatever, sorry, angaleda mafola, ibe rely for lua jumale kan wolle liaje ko ntollel benyin do kola nga feel ko nyimmol wolle ronta wolle li tonyeroke bari the freedom of assembly, the freedom here is Kabirie Samba police. We had an independent judiciary. Me alonko, they discharged them. They acquitted and discharged them. This is what is important. Nico, freedom of speech. Nina dan media karo jibe under President Yaya Jammeh. I don't want to make this Yaya Jammeh Baro, but under Yaya Jammeh, there was a specific law enacted in this country to discourage, to discourage media houses from operation. There was a policy in our laws called media or newspaper taxes. Molbe kanamo jo, but on top of that, Nibe Media Kono, you pay an extra tax of over $200,000 a year. Ikawo jolo wonin tax dolman killing. Yeoke puru media houses all kana, fengo sort. Adunie lansino nyini onda Jammeh. A lot of TV, radio operators here lansino nyinile, the Ministry of Communication denied them, because perhaps individuals were viewed as, not very friendly to the government. Those records are there with our Ministry of Communication. But Niajibe signed that is different. Again, Ngao newspaper tax me for extra tax on media houses, Baro government yo bondigel. Imanda Wala, ining the media houses, Gambia Press Union, Sitale, and civil service organizations, and United Nations, partners, international partners, to draft a policy. Me alonko, it's going to be very media friendly. Yeah, Sambale to the to National Assembly. That was, there is a part of it called Freedom of Information Act, Access to Information Act. Gambia government yeotale ya enact. So niewol jibe anina da jibe fana. How many journalists le bijamini alonko ikamuta under President Adama Barrow? Wala ateko Yalong, again, I don't want to personalize this between Yaya Jammeh and Adama Barrow. But of course, I've known a lot of journalists. Mini Alonko, Fatu Kamara Nyolu, Fatu Ture Nyolu, Seni MK Marena Nyolu, Deda Hydra Nyolu, Ibrahim Silla Nyolu. You have, Seni MK Marena, you have Chief Ibrahim Manes, you have Alaji Jalos, Esa Jalos, Keba Diba of GRTS, Alaji Momodu Juf, Mini Alonko. Countless of people. Many along iye muta dolu wol fatal TRR singa jele kumol min fata. So barola mansa kunda. A single journalist me along go ya muta data invite wolom pa modu bojante. Adu ya muta minna milla moita ala radio was not something good. I 3 years jotna fojang. Akoye muta modo ta ya nyokat. That depends on who is narrating the information. Mollel be nyobungola berola, ite be mobunkan dobe nyato, dobe o nyato, albebe group killing. Berole funding ke bung ayanga kati. Sojarol buka bero use, sojarol ka kidole use anim batins. Adun sojarol la batin, ite o mo bunno la wala ya nyokati. Batin mang sembo soroko. adun sojar man AK-47 ta ka dokomata ka mo bungala so wo manke adun wo ikaw demonstration of him for 3 years jotna demonstration. That was not a peaceful demonstration. That was a demonstration me along Koiko. They were coming out to remove a democratically elected president on no basis, just because I lahidoleta a gentleman agreement that has nothing to do with the provisions of our constitution. I woleta iteko because anite lahidolta iba bondila mansa kundaro force. That is treasonous under our laws.
Okay.
Treason, and
Okay.
that is the highest form of crime in our land. So that demonstration was not peaceful. The police did very well that they didn't kill anybody. If that were under former President Jame, we would have said something else. I respect him for that because sometimes you have to stand firm. But we handle it. There was no fatality, even though we had over 3,000 Gambians that came out. So that was not a peaceful demonstration. That was a violent, illegal demonstration because they were trying to remove a legally elected president.
I don't get it.
Okay, Gitteh, hold on. Let's Lamin. I want you to go straight to the point. Then we move on. We have several topics, mini alonko. They are very relevant at this moment right now. Who do you think? Best interest at heart among all those candidates? I want you to say that. Then we move on.
After the at the moment, out of 18, I can't even remember. Out of the 18 candidates who registered, who will be running for the presidency at the moment. I can pretty much emphatically say there are 4 or 5 candidates who probably will do a far better job than Barrow. Far better job than Barrow. No matter what, even though they've never been presidents, nobody was ever born to be a president. Until the day you become a president, unless you've had a first term before, you can't say, I've got the experience of running a whole country. It doesn't happen like that. But to be honest with you, if we have Halifa Sallah there, he'll be better than Barrow by far, no doubt. If we have Dr. Cisse there, he'll be better than Barrow by far, no doubt. Even Esa Fall, as crooked as he is, he will be better than Adama Barrow by far. And I'll tell you the reasons. I'm not just mentioning for the sake of it. Even Bibi Dabo of the failed PPP will do a better job than Barrow by far. I'm not sure whether Bibi Dabo is going to contest in the end. But I've seen so many candidates there. So I've given you 3 obvious ones.
Can you give me 2? And you give me reasons so we can wrap up on that one.
Okay. So now, I'll tell you one. Dr. Cisse, or let me start with Halifa Sallah because he's the most experienced of all of them at the moment.
Okay.
No matter what you did with Halifa Sallah, he will obey the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. He will act. He has got policies. DOI have got very sound policies. And most of their policies I know are costed and they've mentioned where the money is going to come from. So therefore, Halifa Sallah has been a parliamentarian several times. He has worked in the public service before, so he knows what it's all about. Unlike Barrow, who never worked in the public service until he was thrown in the deep end. I mean, I sympathize with the fellow. And I like his humility with the fact that he said he was not cut out for this job. He didn't have the competence, he didn't have the experience.
He didn't say that. He didn't say he didn't have the competence. Don't add that there. He didn't say that.
All right. But he did say he was not cut out for this job.
No, he didn't say he was not cut out for the job. He said he did not have the experience.
He didn't say that. He said
what did he say?
He said he did not have the experience. Nobody is cut out for presidency, like you said. I mean, you come in and have the experience.
All right. Okay. So Barrow has got experience. Let's say UDP is no longer part of Barrow. Since NPP was formed, doesn't Barrow still have foreign bodyguards around him? He still has foreign bodyguards. Gambia is still under occupation by Senegalese forces. He's reduced our army into watchmen. All right? And still, since UDP left government, Senegalese forces are still encroaching on our land and doing what they want. So let's put Barrow aside because he's one of the worst out of the top 6. You understand? So we have Khalifa Saleh elaborated how he could be better. Esa Fall has worked for government before. Dr. Ceesay is working for the University of the Gambia, which is another government institution, albeit totally different from Esa Fall, who worked for the Ministry of Justice. So those two have got the experience. They have got the academic qualifications to go with it. They can read, at least they can articulate themselves if they sit before Gambians and if they sit before international communities. Barrow cannot do that. Barrow doesn't even look like he's interested in what's happening in our daily lives. He rarely stands up and talks about the daily suffering of Gambian people. All Barrow does when it comes to public platforms is gossiping, talking about others, chest pumping, and he's not showing us anything. Gitteh mentioned infrastructural development. Since Barrow came to office, there's only one project that Barrow started by himself, just one, and that's the Hakalang Road. And we all know the story of Hakalang Road today. We saw UDP crossing Hakalang Road, which is supposed to be advanced at this stage, close to completion. That road is in pieces. You understand? The Basse-Wuli roads and bridges, they were the Belts and Roads Initiative, or One Belt, One Road Initiative, signed and sealed by Jammeh and the Chinese when they came back to the Gambia in 2013. In 2015, most of these deals were signed. Lamin Passamas, which Barrow is claiming, is Jammeh's. Sukuta Jambanjele is Jammeh. Fatoto Koena is Jammeh's. That bridge, Fatoto Bridge, was signed by Jammeh. The bridges that Barrow just went and inaugurated were Jammeh's. OMVG, but Jammeh laid the foundation stone in Conakry. So let's forget about Barrow. As far as I'm concerned, he's probably 5th, 6th, 7th among the list of candidates we have.
Okay.
And I've mentioned the experience and the education.
Okay.
I would like to come in.
Your candidate, they say he's in 7th position.
Yeah, so let me. I think there are sometimes a lot of misunderstandings of the way governance work. You know, if you want to talk about.
Let's do local language. I forgot.
Okay.
You guys took me along.
Coming, Mansakunda katama nyame dunia kono afola min tamba ndeko. Mansakunda katama nyame wolom nyindeko. Nite bota Mansakunda itanteng. Yaje yalo motate Mansakundati. Jawara tateng, Yaya Jammeh tateng, Barrow tateng. Mansakunda dijele bankole. Mbatu. Kabirin sadada jawra bita on document. Nyin Costa Road silo Kuwait nyanda lola. Nyin Costa Road silo mimboda kabosting kona katani Costa Road la final airport Johnson Odo. Sadauda jawra la project kolon woti from Kuwait. Nemol nyinen kay ba folle. Gambia la televisiono. Sadauda jawra la project kolem. University of the Gambia. Sadauda jawra la project kolomi. To lay a law in place. Kudeta nata. But we will give credit to Jammeh because governments, you have to let us speak. Governments inherit, how do they call it in economic terms? Assets and liabilities of preceding governments. Let's say President Adama Barrow, Yaya Jammeh Passamas, Lamin Koto Passamas Road, Basse Bridge, Yaya Jammeh signed, which is actually not correct. Barrow went to China twice, and if you ask some UDP guys will tell you Hussein Dabo signed those documents, of course as foreign minister, but some of those roads were finalized by the Barrow government. They went to China twice. So, minkeda wala mnyindiko. Ning aya tumako Yaya Jammeh o silo nyinta aya sign aya seal. President Barrow na 26 in ako Chinese oleko, I am not interested in these roads. Go away. Ya lete kela. So minkeda walam, Adama Barrow took over. It has become his and 100% his. Mansakunda katamanyame, just like B, nyim victim solning, Yaya Jammeh Usenu Dabo nyol muta ye samba ECOWAS court, ikoye compensate Fatu Kamara nyolu, aning Alaji Job nyolu, journalist oli mute Mansakunda su court. Adama Barrow paid all those compensations. He had to inherit the liabilities. At the same time, the assets as well. Mansakunda Katama wala nyama. So these are not Yaya Jame's properties. They belong to government. Yaya left, Barrow took over, and these are his 100% projects. If he said, let them stop today, as per the constitution, as per the laws of this country, this project will cease this second. So Mansakunda Katamo Nyawa Dunia. The second issue, ye for me along ko dendi ko ay hakalan silo da maleta ayadoku. Kian silo moro, kian silo be kian na silaba. President Adama Barrow ba fenke kan sainte. Mbatu drong ko si karanda basilo. Banjul sate kono sainte infrastructural fenko le bije. Yebe siwe fenko taka ba bondika. Burfut la silo fele sai ya ba bero loka. So on kamin for wala mitiko. Yaya Adama Barrow has done a lot, and in fact in Gambia's history, President Adam Barrow records I kodoming allocate bankola nafloming allocate to infrastructural development adenaman soro in Gambia's history. Adun the best thing about it is amanke juluti moman donto mfangola kodo race internally. So that is one of the most commendable things me along as soto under President Adam Barrow. Well, abuka angale count for I mean, I don't believe in that. President Adam Barrow actually speaks very good. He's for those of us that are interested in listening to him, he is a very good speaker, and we listen to him very good. Yes, Senegal la kumo for economic mbinaje sistanso domandi. Dialong Gambia nolu wato do ndekal jenyame wolem nyantale ngatamaning hakilola. First and foremost, Gambia is a party to ECOWAS treaties. Gambia is a party to AU treaties. Gambia as a government is a party to United Nations treaties. Wemune fenge walam luai minfo nyinkafol tema ECOWAS la level, AU la level, UN la level, we have to accept them. Minketa walam nyindiko. ECOWAS lana jang, Senegalese quote-unquote occupation in this country was precipitated by Lamin Tambs man, and that was Yaya Jammeh. There was an election here. Election was free and fair, and Lamin Tambs man refused to concede. And he had the powers, he had the machinery in his hands, he was the commander-in-chief, he had the armed forces, listening to him. He had the armories. He has the loyalty of all the men that move and shakes the armed forces. And the Gambians are powerless. What do you expect us to do? ECOWAS treaty for them. Nale problemo soro la banko kang almal fangol fenkeno alman sembe soro no as citizens. Minalang almakoy. So ECOWAS aketa nyadile. In our country, system to them left hand so then in Kajabe diarim back.
Okay.
Ntola banko kang ECOWAS, it would have cost ECOWAS a lot more. Furuka troops all bonding at Nigeria a lot. Wala Sierra Leone, wala Liberia, wala Togo, wala Benin. Senegal geographically is the closest country. Senegal offered ECOWAS to provide a lot more men. A lot more, resources in terms of men and materials. And that is fantastic because that will be cost effective to ECOWAS. But in Gambian Old City core, Senegalese forces are occupying Animfanang, Ntola forces solu. We are the ones that Senegalese leben President Marakande ko. Atola Gambian soldier rolu. Wal sinya jala wal tata wandi bankol kang. Hani sai bijebe wandi mansol Gadla ibe the most important installational guard kang in other countries. Me along ko ECOWAS le kije dolbije African Union ne kije. Gambia tata Liberia le, Gambia tata Sierra Leone, Gambia tata East Timor, Gambia tata Sudan, Gambia tata Nepal, Gambia is in Mali, Gambia is going to Iraq. You have your citizens in other people's country. It is not everyone in those countries that are happy with the presence of your men and women. Sudanese all the Sudanese in Darfur wants Gambian men and women in uniform in Darfur. Not everybody in Sierra Leone. The rebels fought against the Gambian contingency in Sierra Leone and in Liberia. That is how the war works. But
I mean,
these
Gitteh,
officers,
hold on.
One second. These men and women that are
you have
in
1 minute
our
to wrap
country
up that one. Then I'll give Lamin 2 minutes.
Are here as per the regional and international treaties that Gambia has with the neighboring and other states in the international community. So there is no occupation happening here, not a single occupation. Senegal has not sent anybody single-handedly. Senegal more. It's ECOWAS.
Tamba, I'll give you 2 minutes on that. Wrap up on that.
Please.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Kabrunga kuwol dati jang. Nko ku killing them be than the one place like one country United is the love of the Gambia. Gambia la sovereignty, Gambia la territorial integrity. Being Kadiamo Nyamen Gitteh, Senegal is at war. You know that Senegal is at war. Muntumala Senegal neneka Gambia troops all nyinenka purieta Casamas to guard Casamas area. It never happened. Makisala bodyguard all muntumala neneka ke Gambianti. Gitteh, there was no war in the Gambia. The day men a jamme bota Gambia. And you see, Alka to have stories all the fola duniae. Jamme conceded. He refused to concede. Jamme conceded defeat. IEC changed the results. Jamme petitioned the Supreme Court. All hell let loose. As far as we are concerned, Jamme followed the legal process.
He declared the results null and void. That is different from petitioning it at the court.
Okay, so forget that for 1 minute because that has no legal ramifications. Jamme declared it null and void, but he still went to court. Ninko Gitteh B. Yen don to $100 men nanta jola. Yeah? But yen command the court ntata court. Yeah? Or nye don to $100 ila iko ita jola. Nko ni manjo metulo bunna. But metulo bun tata court nga kuo submit je. Court ya command itata kitiola. I followed the legal process of dealing with it, although I didn't make a threat. That threat is immaterial at this stage. You understand that? Jammeh conceded, IEC changed the results, he changed. Senegal will never have a Gambian bodyguard. For Nakatanga Senegal invade, Ngela President Ota, and we run their country. They will never have that. Listen to me for 1 minute.
Tamba, hold on. I have a question. Why are we so worried about Senegalese being bodyguards? I mean, is it on our expense, or why are we so worried about the bodyguard?
It's on our expense. Gambia government. My party, give me 1 minute. My party, who was the interior minister, time moment that the forces were coming into the Gambia. My party that's economic peacekeeping mission, and there's an extra contingent of Senegalese forces who were brought to Gambian shores illegally. Their number about 1,500 Senegalese forces. Mayor Lonko, they were not part of the economic, and those were the ones that shot and killed Haruna Jatta and injured 13 others under Barrow's command. You understand? Under Barrow's in Barrow's tenure. My party said that. My party knows the security arrangements post Jammeh than Gitteh. Senegal is at war. Senegal neneman Gambia kumandi katake mako Casamas. You understand? Senegal ni Mauritania keleta janne. Senegal neneman Gambia nyininka katake mako. Senegal ni Guinea-Bissau keleta janne. Senegal neneman Gambia troops all nyininka katake Senegal mako. Please, Gitteh as a Kenya onya. Banco ya state secret Binto.
Okay, Lamin, your 2 minutes is over. Gitteh, you have 1 minute. We are going to the next topic. We can come back to that.
Talk about, you are comparing apples and oranges.
1 minute, Gitteh.
Senegal might have a war, but Senegalese president was never under threat, or the democratic process of Senegal was never threatened by that war. Senegal had always, since 1960, conducted its election, its democratic processes free and fair, and there was never a time when a Senegalese executive was threatened to a point they will need foreign assistance. Senegal and Mauritania's war was a war between two countries. when you go to Sierra Leone, Senegalese troops went to Sierra Leone. You have spoken, and I was like, you know, what I really do not want
Go ahead.
is to make this Jame, Baro. That's not what I want to make this. What I want to make. Yes. So Senegalese, I want Gambians to understand this. My party's statement to SECO, Senegalese, there was an extra contingent from Senegal. I've never heard that from my. If my party ever says that, if my ever says that, I would say my is misinforming the public, because as far as we are concerned, these people, Mini Alonko Bijang from Senegal, are brought here on the ECOWAS treaty. ECOWAS le Kinanjang, and they are not here to occupy this country. And you know, the other thing is, the Gambia is like a sovereign state, and the commander-in-chief of the Gambia Armed Forces to make Gambian army or soldiers or security personnel feel they are not trusted, and that is the biggest misinformation they are sending out there. Our bodyguard, Barrow's ADC, is a Gambian. Barros, the deputy commander, the Senegalese is actually, of course, Camara is a Senegalese on the ECOMIC, but our deputy Captain Juf is a Gambian, deputy PPO is a Gambian. The commander of State Guard, anywhere President Barrow Tadaje, he is there. And on the advanced team, Major Ba and in John, these are Gambians. When you are around Barrow's convoy, Barrow's security details, you know, the ratio of Senegalese to Gambian security personnel there is 1:7. So, I'll come in for it's a lot of misinformation. There are a lot of Gambians around President Adama Barrow's security. Fengo. Barola driver is a Gambian. Ala soldier driver is a Gambian. The deputy PPO, principal protection officer, Captain Juve, is a Gambian. The commander state guard is always with him wherever he is, with his entourage. So, the outer court of security. Sometimes you have the economic mini along for Wolmanke Senegal El Damat. There are Ghanaians, there are Nigerians in the outer core of the security, because the president's security has a lot of layers. So Mol coming for it's not true. Senegal and Gambia is about time we understand we are one and the same. Yes, I could kill him for me along. I am concerned as a person. Ini sukuro e bojan Senegal ya taibul. Ini mano e bojan Senegal ya taibul. Ya jamme ma falino. Sadawda ma falino. So ida lafla sadawda la sanji tansaba ma mi falino. Ya jamme la sanji muani mfulama falin. Na kam fada e boda soron Gambian sofa. He left Barola Mansakunda 4 years. I will walk out. I know there was a heavy ministerial delegation that went to Dakar to sit down with Senegalese to tell them that you cannot bring materials into this country, and we want to take materials to Senegal. You refuse. Or in fact, sometimes Gambians will be taken re-export to Mali. Senegalese of customs will stop them. Baro a heavy delegation neki Justice Minister Dauda Jallo headed that delegation, and they had a very, very candid and very, very, frank discussion. I'm aware of that. And the two countries are working towards eliminating that.
Okay, thank you. Tamba, we're moving on to the next topic. We saw nga President Barrow jela kanilai atata Jamea. Atata Jamea, nitanga understand wala nyam. Birite woje. Mine nate hakilo kono. What came up in your mind?
No, nte kabunga Barrow je kanilai. I'm unsurprised because ngalon ne ko betilinding election wala. Womuku ko irimolata akweta malew. So I'm not surprised. It's a good move. But Barrow in movement, it's come 3 years too late. You understand? Yo, reconciliation o akwa kata wale la kanilai, kata ya jamela family visit, yalong, purka reconciliation o nying facilitate. Reconciliation o nying, nenema moy Barrow ka foko, okay, I'm going to meet all the victims sign. Nim victims all ye diamo. then ngana perpetrators. Jamela family I même visit Kanila, they're not perpetrators. Jammeh himself was accused of ordering Mohani Sama, monene mafoko Jammeh fangola afa, wala Jammeh nyinem video ti wala kaito ti wala fenkwaya order dame. So ite kata reconciliation wala, a mechanism le bije, a Kenya le bije. I jump tale krata Kanila, Jammeh family melyalonko, im nene bukatara government, in nene bukatara army, none of them was mentioned at the TRRC, equal kata reconciliation wala, Jumaya, Seni Jamea, wala Araba Jamea, wala Jalaman. None of them was in the security services. None of them was in the civil services. None of them was mentioned to have been part of any crimes against any individual in the country. So Barokata mune negotiate. Reconciliation on iba kela. Eka victim ole land the one side. Ye perpetrator land the one side. Alia fogale ko. Na independent investigation on menkejang. Wala yitandi ko itala nyine ke victimoye e yamune soto be mom fola victimoye fo ba fola ko ali haketu nya because ngani kelen wota mom be santo sembobe mbul walat na ngake bar sa nga jube nyamen ake nyama nyinya amanya na kelanu. You understand? Did Barrow take the victims to Kanilai? No. Were the perpetrators in Kanilai? No. Barrow kata mun reconciliation sifala ke Kanilai. Why now? Munat na amao dati TRRC dati datamo menna. Wala perpetrators jama mentioned they're not from Kanilai. Perpetrators come from every part of the Gambia. A visit I menke is fine. President has got entitlement to visit every inch of Gambian soil. Problem talent, problem sotoje. Baro man taje reconciliation la. Baro tata menna Kanilai is for political expediency. Atata carte la. Atata endorsement ola nyine because molbe diamo kanka fuko ha Jammeh family APRC ning NPP alliance so endorse le Jammeh family member Juma iko tata senior but senior audio bond the other day ako visit nying yata surprise le so Jammeh family member Juma le APRC ning NPP alliance so endorse senior Jammeh audio bi jabe nendi rola ako nyim visit to Kanila yata surprise le. So family Jumale Jammeh family Manjala mang moya endorse, man Seni moya endorse, ma Araba moya endorse. So Barrow akata Kanilai reconciliation ola. Perpetrator solte Kanilai, victim solte Kanilai, ala visit mu muneti atata ka technology science and technology college le yele. Ngawle moy abota ji atata Jammeh family jube. Munat na Barrow man yinkenung ta mo mena haruna jata bunki dola ya fa anin 13 orders. Ye barama munat na maoke kabrum kanali soldarol ye Gambia soldarol bun kanilato ye barama singol kan munat na maoke kabru Ismaila Tamba bun janki dola amantaje munat na amaoke kabrun Jammeh bama banta anin Jammeh la broda banta so ala kuol nyeng a letale nafata la namanke politiko kensamati wata tata victimoti je perpetrator je akata kanilai yes as a kanilai visit no but amantaje reconciliation la han demanding atata fansun ta mole la je ngawle jeje. Thank you.
Okay. Gitteh.
Yes.
Nga president omoyle ako Mia Samba Kanilai wala horomo ni mbunyate as a former state president, former president aya akataka je visit as ake horomo ni mbunyala kama aning reconciliation, purpose of reconciliation. Ifele tamba moy and what do you say?
Lamin Tambs moy bake ngala kumo moy. First and foremost, Tamba in fact, I don't think Tamba recognizes, there is ever a victim because alaforo yalong wato do diamo kole ataba. He tried to make a point Dame Alonko was there was no proof Jammeh was involved in any of these crime, me Alonko Molia accused Kaketa. But forget about Yaya Jammeh right now. Kanilai Gambia no lebije. President Barrow had a Science and Maths Academy Skills Center at Adayel. Another futa moluma mini Alonko Kanilai dingol lelmu. Ini Yaya Jammeh dent. ko kafuko victim te kanilai Lamin Tambs is out of touch. Nte, I was a presidential correspondent under Yaya Jammeh at some point. I was posted at State House, ntending Abdunjai and Keba Diba. Most of the time, ndelakata kanilai because I am the junior staff. Ni Yaya Jammeh kata weekend kije. Buwa mutol keta kanilai. Momi mutata kanilai kebalu koimu buwa leti. They were accused of witchcraft. And they forcefully give them fenko borol puriaming. Wasiatalako. Adung nindela broda fata. Ite ndela broda fa. Ndemo victim oltiko. Because mbadi ngomfota wala. Niende ngofa mu victim oltiko. Ika arabanyol minfoini ya jamenyolu. Ngamera tiara silo tajane ko. Yaya Jammeh la broda le bije mi alon ko masi Jammeh anala sister iko Yaya Jammeh le fa TRRC o fajan ni dada ye momin fa dada la broda ya tete caring fo man da victim oya ndolla adama ya don victim olti. You may not be directly but indirectly you are a victim wala ya tinanga mol soto bi minni alon ko ibe complain kay koytol mu victim olati and Barrow did not. I will come to that. Let's take an example of the late Solo Sandeng's family. You want us to visit them because they are victims. But then, in actual sense, they are not the victims. As per your definition of victimization or victims. But Solo Sandeng te keri. Nilam tatala victim or visit lebira Solo Sandeng ala bambara te keri. Itela definition of. What then? But Solo Sandeng na family be keri ne. So kanila kavoko victim tije wote tonyati. Adum, there is time for everything. Haruna jadala saya watu. Anita ka watu minfoteng. Things were very, very fluid. So jarol bije mini alonko. Ila loyalty ka question will be very difficult. You need time to process and assess some of these men and women. Kanila was a military barracks. It was the home of the former president. Do you know if they had a cache of weapons kept there? Maybe security experts had informed the president, Adam Barrow, it's not the right time to go to these places because dollar assessment might indicate whether Kanila is safe or not. But na tata Kanila kata condon di role la je burka reconciliation okay. Ntema mira wo mukasiti. Aka politiko milafa je ngo President Yaya Jammeh I scholarship all the mall la I have a platform all kang I track it all the mall la famera deal la puru dra ya fa baraka etasi I ake political le kama I Jammeh on lola mall samba hijola pure carte of fire politicians do good gestures in return to get political expediency ni go bol janjandila on a political platform you are very unfair to politicians ol bukata adulato ikoy kataje pour ala seso jannatul firdaus la. That's not why they go there. They go there to get sympathy and to get support from the ordinary people.
Okay.
So kana jenkendi the all at the same time nina akomune atina mune atina victimolu the other victims barome kafunyoma ko ni lafta reconciliation e ka victimo sindile ye perpetration sindie dia moitema President Adama Barrow established TRRC molbi jamini ale sonda ko e kuja olek like Sanabi Sabali. On President Adama Barrow's behalf, the chairperson of TRRC, Dr. Lamin Tambs, and some council members, is Sitale Sanasabali Sambanang, ye one of the victims Sambane Diamude Tema, Sanasabali Fenkoke, I Bolo Seroke, if victimo Kayam Fatai. At the same time, Oje Jalomia Lipanung, Kabiria Sorong, on behalf of President Adama Barrow, Dr. Lamin Tambs invited the victim, O.J. Jallow, and also invited a particular perpetrator who is a major in the armed forces right now. They are all happening on behalf of President Adam Barrow. Problem of sister, Nindula is very sensitive. Problem of caring. Moli victim perpetrator isu ya tale kake political adu niyo ke drong ini molbe kuyala adu modol bi je wolde genuinely are victims bari ka febe kuol kala nyame ni ko bita wala banko molte kala kilindi because ibe min fola molte sonnala general lantom bon tamba ye jumala lipa katambi wala jam he was in Kanila with Baro lantom bon tamba was puta dunia min mankewal Fatumata Jawara ye wala ni solo sande nyol mutanyola for the victim why are choose to forgive. So neither the victims who are speaking on behalf of. Name victims, some are happy with it. But neither mini alonko they see this way of reconciliation, of handling matters. I don't President Barrow Mafoko. Yeminu victimized TRRC do quote killer. TRRC is going on. The process is still on. I don't go nyindo ate okela. I don't dolmu muslim moldet. Qur'ano leko. Fa in aqabutum fa aqibu bimithli ma uqibutum bi. Wala in sabartum lahu khairul lisabirin. Ala la Qur'ano fanko. Niye kuja okelejo. Ala le afo jongole. Niye kuja okala. Ni moyela mo fa. Ni moyela mo tora. Ni moyela mo bunkido la bun bari ni sabari yeta la mo min bunkido la wallahi sabaro le fisiate ala yen encourage ko nyaali am fa hani moli alla molfa nin tol ko mbewol fengela wol advocate la wala mol ko e bo fa la society kono ite ko mol mo kurngol leti mol manke mo kennet what kind of people are you ala la fisiada mo moron ndi mi alon ka be diamuka ala la yamaro le fisiada mo moron ndi mi alon ka be diamuka ni mol ko advocacy ala nga yam fanyo ali yam fa yaya jamme fangoy ala ya wote kasiti ala lafta wala lo mukulati ala lafta alal but ni de ko be mol nen nawala that is a problem nte I am a victim indirectly na broda buba jide foy ma soro wol nin solo sandem findit ya li pale hansaing aman sahaya abalo man sahaya hansa but nin buba jide ko he has forgiven itela dad waletela broda e kudeta ke against Yaya Jammeh which is criminal under the law ya muta ya fa ite konde kana yamfa your brother Yemimfa has a problem under the law. Some people will even be very, very disappointed because luaning Allah emotional mantra cooking is important now for. Nikobe ya Jammeh fala because kudeta olom yeta ya te fa ya bondi. Lua ya Jammeh kuriata nyaonya. Lua man sowole lua altinya. Adung din kuriya man tambi banko kan Gambia la lua. There is nothing as terrible as treason. Din kuriya abe landa tambirim. Komi Islam oto sirkantu yabe nyamen ka fulaka fu alama dim kuriya man tambi ka kudeta
okay
ni succeed at abebul ni man succeed dim kuriya man tambala bankola luat so ni okay fata o kono e koy bina ya fo mole kon tolmi alon ko fanal keda victimol din doli am fadete koy ben dol kala mo kurngolti problème ol be bulde illa moy nin tiarar sinata dolbe disappoint la de doli amere mu victimoti they are not victims alanga domando manyofe nintol nga decide ko we want to forgive respect that baral kana mol neng ale ko because nyonde bankor at tenkun because ale min sodo ngawlo sodo ngan right lo nga luallo I want to make that point very clear sister Binto.
Okay
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Lamin, I want you to answer this question and if you have any response for Gitteh need ibe Gitteh jinkan Lamin reconciliation or focus sai Lamin Tambs reconciliation or nimba kela ite amira nyenta kela in which form le and any answer soto Gitteh.
Okay, so first and foremost, reconciliation on TRRC Act Jube, they have got a mandate to reconcile the victim and the perpetrator. Yeah, moile. A mandate nimbebule already, and TRRC has done it before. So Munatina all of a sudden, TRRC market, they've stopped doing it anyway, as far as I'm concerned. Government institutional and Yantawa Ronla, not the president. You understand? The president just went to Kanilai. President Onying atata Kanilai. If you're doing reconciliation, it come in a closed door meeting sort of with Jammeh's family. For reconciliation, okay, wala nyaba. Ikata moya kafa ko he nata sanga kontongala. Baral bunda sorong malafi dunia ya moy ko nata sanga kontonda. Mon reconciliation si fala wati. Have you seen it in the open? Molbe searing baroka for yes nata jang Kanilai pour reconciliation wala. Pour in Jammeh family and in the victims of the witch hunt. And in the family of Masire and Haruna Jammeh's family, ngasi. Were those families involved in the Kanilai visit? Did they sit down with the perpetrators? Did Barrow meet those perpetrators allegedly? No. Barrow ni Wallman Bang. Yes. The Jammeh family atata melia Walla family lati. So Gitteh ka memfoteng now lonne culturally molka forgiveness nyini wala nyama. But government has set an institution menyanta nying reconciliation or handle. All Barrow needs to do is use his executive powers for TRRC ECO. You've been given the mandate by the TRRC Act 2017 to reconcile Gambians. I'll give you X amount of funds or X amount of period of time, Puru Alieta Kanilai, bring people together, victims all and perpetrators all reconciliation or care. So Kabrata ta Kanilai, ka reconciliation or can in Jamela family. Jumal and Jumal reconciled, were they a victim? Was Barrow representing the victims or was Barrow representing the perpetrators? Reconciliation or Ketanyadi, like Jumal and Jumabi Jamenko, okay, so nga accept le. Reconciliation or nye forgive le.
I can quickly answer that point.
Yeah,
Gitteh, hold on. Let him wrap up.
Yeah, get close door meeting like with the Jamla. So whatever you answer, Gitteh, Ima said it. Wala ibije, ita diamonola, ita evidence ita nitola mola. Ika follow rek because ita be ole guest kam wala keta for political reasons. Binto, but I'll tell you one thing. Barola visit is good. There's nothing wrong with it. Head of state Lem, Ashitano Kanilai, any minute, he can meet anybody in Kanilai. No problems with that. Barrow has even got the right. Ni mobe ya jamela bedroom moto abe steering je, ay taji afwa mari ko ha carte fayo kana sile. Laftale aliye mako ya aliye carte dina. Nothing wrong with that. Even Kabriye UDP attack ni assault ninje nga fole nunko. UDP has every right to attack Kanilai, any inch of Kanilai. Bare ni nyim Kanilai ko man lafi kalje. All they needed to do is peacefully leave the village. You understand? But Niman Somfanang, Kanila Kolkafalko, we told them to leave before. They're coming into our village and causing discomfort. They're affecting our privacy or whatever part of the law Africa may use. Because near public places, there are so many offenses you can commit without even committing an offense. You understand that? So Barrow has every right to go there. Problem to but Tenga mem for them Wolem. Barola trip manke reconciliation ti maje abe siring aning molye si victim nim perpetrator wala afo the perpetrators say wala victim sole ko nata janne on behalf of the perpetrators ka fali ko fengo fen keta on the ya jame government nata le ka dani roke ka yam fo nyine. Barrow never did that. The only public speech nga Barrow moya be mem fokang walam ha he went there, reconciliation. Jammeh deserves respect. Adunta mutumale Barrow yalon ko Jammeh deserves respect. Kabiru bara bagasol sunya kanjang. And Gitteh mentioned the tractors. Jammeh tractors all men di farmers all. Munat na Barrow government e obusi. Gitteh would like to blame the UDP for it. To Nyalem, I'll give him a little bit of credit. No. Kabiru UDP bottom government, things change a little bit.
But I will not actually blame UDP for the tractors. I will not. And okay. I can make that very clear.
Okay,
here.
Okay, Gitteh, hold on. Hold on.
Maybe UDP in 10, but at the time, UDP was in government.
Okay. Yes.
Because excuse le use. Usenu dabole unyunkuol beke. No, Barrow Nalko Jammeh was responsible for what happened under him. Barrow is entirely responsible for what happened there. Gitteh initially akonun jang. Protestol membe ketanung under Barrow were not peaceful ones. Kanilai man peaceful. Security forces had the right to quell any.
No, I didn't say. Don't misquote me. I didn't say they were not all peaceful.
I'm sorry. I'm out for Barako. Security services have got the right to quell any protest if they feel that there's a threat. You understand?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Kanilai, you felt there was a threat. Faraba, you felt there was a threat. 3 years, Jotna, you felt there was a threat. But in 2000, Gitteh, Kabirum police station all be Janikang, Motol be Janikang, and there was not a threat to the state. and lives and livelihoods. Yeah? And that was the only threat. Kabir Kalama revolution. You see, Al-Kafumole, the wrong impression on the Mola. Under Jame, there were protests, Fanan. Yeah?
So you see, do not make this Jame.
Okay. Let me finish. Yeah,
in April 2000.
Gitteh, hold on. Let Lamin answer this question, then you respond. Lamin.
Yeah.
Okay,
in which form?
Sorry, ma. Sorry.
Yeah. Lamin, in which form do you think this reconciliation should take place?
TRC is already got a mandate. They paid loads of money for it.
Do you think? Yeah. Let me come up with another question. Do you think TRRC? It is a miracle. TRRC la recommendation on Afintina will it be affected by politics? Ngajele Esa Fall jumping in the ring. President Balola visiting Alliance. So it is many more examples, but I can only give this three for now. It is a new recommendation will be affected by politics.
The recommendation will be affected by politics depending on the outcome of the election in December. Nimbaro winter. Some of these perpetrators, and Amanke Baro Dronte, I'll tell you that for a fact. Because some of the alleged perpetrators, some of them joined a UDP, some of them are still APRC, some of them joined a Baroya. Do you understand? Do you genuinely think, come Baroya Menke, Baro's has already shown signs for recommendation all, Namanta in his favor, he's going to ignore them. Barola chief of protocol was mentioned adversely in the Jana Commission. What did Baro do? Barola driver was mentioned in the diplomatic passport scandal. What did Baro do? Yeah? Sidinjai was here in the APRC Abe Baroya. Is he going to face any sort of sanction? No. Although Sidinjai mentioned adversely at Jana Commission, Ama mentioned adversely in the TRRC. If he was, do you think Baro is going to take action against him? No. So the long and short is, Ning Commission on second way is going to affect it. SR5 fell dunta political corner. Are people going to think that SR5 ni Wato Bay, Kabraka Germany, APRC, and in Gambia army attack? Was he doing it to gain political advantage by damaging Jame inadvertently? You understand? SR5 dunta political corner. I recommendation men safe. Sakonako Ali APRC ban, we will see that that's a way of SFL trying to get political support. Members of the public after Melbe APRC will have to join. Anything SFL meant for sign in relation to the TRRC. Wala Dr. Baba Gale Jalo men after Nukala party form for Molia Piri Parajang Ayabai for Ayabai le for Amabai Malo. Yeah? Anything at a for problem them. Lamin Sise the chairman. Anything I am meant for because Molko Lamin Sise chairman Onying is part of UDP. Malam for Tonyal and for Tonyante. I fem for mobile for a be political amanta sotola imantara Tonya Fokan. So TRRC report is going to suffer significantly under the circumstances because Barrow has already shown via Jana Commission co recommendation at a data more Sabalila recommendation I implement, but Alaji Sise ta, Alaji Osman Sise, Aman will enforce. Yeah, Barrow, Mol, Yemen mentioned them adversely by commissions. They're still working for Barrow. You understand? Okay. So BJ, and that's the truth.
Okay, Gitteh.
Yes.
The MPP government nata. Gambian tola recommendation. Because many points will be my
So kukilen kumada mi alonko nyanta ka kwendi jang. Jana Commission was on financial crimes, warning human rights if that. Financial crimes, I tracto kumo fajang. I do not want to dwell much into that. The tractors that were given to farmers under Yaya Jammeh were presented as properties of Yaya Jammeh, not Gambia government. So niela property di mola inata julo sodo, yela bungolo, ye julo ta wale kodota mol kotia oda koite julo le bela, ibuka jibe fo family le bela korda kono fo family tije. itel tobe korda kaito do womol be fintile korda ta ya waf tractol min ya lon ko ye ta farmasol bulu were on record properties of former president, not Gambia government. So feo fenne atuma ko jamela property lam luato yata because Gambia la julole bala as per the commission's report. So that needs to be very clear. Imang tractol busi farmer so laba tractol mu yaya jammele tati Gambia manza kunda yaya jamme ila julole bala yata. I want that to be very clear. That's not UDP, that's not APRC, that's not NCP. Now, Nina Ranying Fenkola, the Jan TRRC, whether the recommendations will be implemented. I am 100% sure that there are aspects of the TRRC recommendations that will be implemented. There are some that are not implementable, just like we have seen in other parts of the world. Sometimes things are very ideal on paper at practical level, but at practical level they are not. So if you want to reconcile, that's why there is reparation aspect to the commission. Wolom nyinde ko modol bijembe ol compensate lale minne kukele yamfaye nga kodol dila wala tina reparation aspect nada into the TRRC. Fengol be findla la mi alonko mansa kundate ol implement lola niya implementika kairo minyini banko kaita soro ya family ni data Ghana example obije ye TRRC sodole the biggest perpetrator was JJ Rollins but ye diamo kele JJ Rollins ye minke ngamra mo min fasiad. I'm not trying to make kafoko momanya na prosecute la mof but JJ Rollins fele honeybee. There are elements of Ghana's truth and reconciliation report and recommendations, many alongo they are not implemented. South Africa is another case. Kabiring ANC Nada, the apartheid government, they had a truth and reconciliation commission. Liberia is another case. One of the biggest perpetrators in Liberia was Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson, he's a senator. Apart from Charles Taylor, Johnson was the second most brutal person in Liberia. The leader of independent NPFL, National Patriotic Front of Liberia. Prince Johnson, he's a senior senator in Liberia. There is no Liberian mialonko in Liberia, ya mutaka samba court ka prosecute. Because recommendation also not a bari, niko eba implement la, maybe there are fears. But in Sonda Nako, Baro will implement a lot of the recommendations from the TRRC. But again, Ngakumale Maja, ESA has made everybody sit aback a little bit. ESA was part of those writing the recommendations. Baba Galle Jalo was one of those Minalonko, they were writing the recommendations. These are people Minalonko politically, they have very different views with Baro. Sometimes people's emotions and interests, are overridden. They override their professionalism. So TRRC ni asamana, depending on what they brought, because our interest is to unite Gambians. Our interest is to make sure, of course, people have justice. But there are many forms of getting justice. There are many forms of getting, as they will say, Malon for justice and something, justice and accountability before reconciliation. So Nimoliofo, sometimes I want to understand what they're saying, but to make the long story short, yes,
let me add something there. Honorable OJ Moila Ako, let's forgive and move on. What are the no? We need justice before we move on. So it be minute.
Yeah, so Nico justice again, it depends on what you mean by justice. So there is one thing that people need to understand as well. Yankuba Toure's case is very different. Nyimol dol min yalonko ye sambanan TRRC in the proper code of law. Ye molu sondi fenna TRRC, those evidence will be inadmissible in the court of law. There is going to be hell long court proceedings here. modo nada confessa kondele karifa I mean for tepoto near samba in the court of law it might not be admissible because of the way they come to you and agree to confess and cooperate with you. TRRC la lual benyame ni ko be mo sambala court ka prosecute. You may not have enough of evidence. So we'll benyanda put that into consideration moli along. This is a very long process. It's going to be a very tedious one. Ndo lafta minanak mo morondi ning atuma ko ila mo ya niota. Wallahi wo mufembaleti. We wish ko Mansakunda ani ye minu victimize. Anim fana mini ye victimize. Ye nyoje as Gambians. Forget about I am APRC, I am NPP. Ye nyo sude kontolel munun signolti. Adun nintol botaje ndingol leg bekela signolti. Mbari muso nin alamale en kisa. Bari ni ye miye solo sandem fa. Yalon death sentence law wodi. Ni solo sandem fa tauta. Ni ofana fa. Nalmun ne bolti. Mi solo sandem fa adingo anin solo sanden dingo wallahi yo command justice la nyawnya wol neneta nyojala eye to eye in their lives. Akoleata nyawnya ni mo farmer execute because I dole fa I mean na mo fa wallahi dim fulol pour ye nyoje eye to eye be koleala ma fokate kela bari alnga hakilol tu ngamira ba bari most of the problem we have here is that people are very highly political. Ikafeo Fenjibe is through the lens of politics. Adun TRRC, we have to look at it very carefully. Hakiloltu, reconciliation, very important. Reparation, very important. Truth or lies have already been told because TRRC is concluded.
Okay,
I hope that, yes.
Tamba, we already reconciliation, or we went through that whole thing fully with Order Sajo and Matijao. So, what do you have to say in addition to all we discussed right now before we move on quickly? Because we have to open the line just for a few calls, and then we close this off. Go ahead.
So, GTMM for Walebije, he made some good points, and I agree with him. Because TRRC nibe silaje to testify, it's clear. In fact, the act makes it clear. You cannot use TRRC material to then turn around and prosecute somebody using that material at TRRC. So therefore, I meant for not the full report or recommendations will be implemented in full. And then not be different la daming. What TRRC recommendation all dunta lungo menna momo be baro government amu baro government baramality. I can tell you for a fact based on barola past conduct, even though recommendation onying recommended severe repercussions for that person, amari nyenteta court. Nga jele faraba janga rumo moile ko the president's office wanted to tamper with the faraba prosecution onying. Jumala along with 5 PIU officers all la prosecution bedame. Faraba commission all findings and recommendation all. Aketa nyadile. Now kendingo jele from Faraba. Iko ebe men sambala treatment la talki lem from intolem. Kendingo nyima samba dula wala correct treatment o ima diala. So Faraba commission all fanam fele wati nyata. Ya understand le? Yo. Jane commission all nyin la recommendation all. Adiate toli meye ye wala implement.
Tamba. Kukili ne njakali la kwota yalong nga nyun kwol be kachanu njande you me itaninte several fenkol kele especially the TRRC. Ita fumo ima nkuja ma accept no about the TRRC. How come now ila fita people that are following Barrow they should be fully prosecuted?
No, the people who are following Barrow because it only been called implement. I can tell you this 100%.
But okay, I just want to interject. You know, there is no Barrow supporter that is actually adversely mentioned in TRRC. Tell me one general or one soldier, Alonko, he killed or perpetrated crimes. If there is any, you have victims with Barrow. Who is in Barrow's camp that is a perpetrator? Tell me.
Gitteh, itela ko amame. Itela ko amame Gitteh. Iko. Yeah? In recommendation of Jolan Tajang. Mo jama je men ka pretend ko victim olem imanke victim ti. These people provoke the state security. Yemen fonunja walem ni momo dunta coup d'etat kono is the biggest crime. Treason is the biggest crime as far as our constitution and the legal statutes are concerned. I agree with that. Yeah?
Yes.
High treason. So mojama be parola government itoman kumande follow wa coup d'etat keta nun janne mele alon ko maybe itolbe nun jela. We don't know yet. Reporto bi narale mojama bi jemembe baros. I don't want to mention names. One of them is close to me. You understand? Might not be a victim after all. You understand? Ni tata ikoika government coup d'etat. Yefeng ofen taraje ila own fault them as a legal practitioner. Yeah, as a legal practitioner, ni arrest for a subdue, they have no right to kill you just like that. Inyante sambala court ye sentence, yena ye execute naketa court ye wala order. But if you got killed in the firefight, you cannot then call yourself a victim. Naketa fanang ye arrest le, yeah? If naketa fanang ye arrest le, you understand? Ye arrest le, then inate samba, torture and cannot be condoned because at that particular point, you are subdued. You're probably not a threat to the state. But the advanced democracies, Yemen Court Nunjang, America, UK, they still retain waterboarding, rendition, rape, torture, murder in order to protect the state or to extract information that protects the state.
Okay.
And Gambia Lua is 90% carbon copy of the UK government. Yeah, common law, Commonwealth. So Binto, BB didn't tell him Gambia President Oti. Nin Baro ye TRC recommendation or muta, I have fine nyamo kono. I will not blame Baro. Because Lual Safe Tale, TRRC member soul, inyanta constitute la nyame, as a fatale.
Okay.
First, Lual kono, conflict of interest is very important. Qualification of the chairman of the commission is very important. So Nimbaro e reporto nyinta aya fai jana nta blame la. TRRC foundation on man correct. That's the first fatal flaw. Abeoleto.
Okay, Tamba, left a kukilin the answer, Janimbe Gitteh Tasambalan, and then we open the line.
Yeah.
Ite, you are known to Alliance.
Yeah.
NAM.
Yeah.
Sign don't question of minti. Election of fellow within 2 months, and Yanta Kela Watole. Itol la fate, atoli atol mnyaton called. Minami itol la fate. For atol do. Albe molle, albe la kafula partido le kambang. For albe alla candidate or londela bang. For ibe sila swallow connected akarte file. Left odor answer specifically, then Gitteh for personal question on Yininka, then we move on.
Yo, so no alliance movement, NAM. Amu APRC supporters already 100% APRC supporters.
Okay.
Yo, ntole difference soto damen walem. Na executive ko kata barola support. Bon tol nga menjeje walem. Kata ka barola NPP support. Nga men lonje as the no alliance movement jamme mantara koma ama support. Okay. Number one. Number two, the majority of APRC supporters all man songaba. Number three, ya Kenya men, it was not done properly. It's done illegally as far as the APRC constitution is concerned. So walat nan tolbe kelekan. Ntol man any other party soto, manta party kuto formula, more mobilize can in the name of APRC. We want to maintain APRC's legacy. We want APRC a future soto. Nina executive for lafita kata baro ning NPP yake support. Nyinin ka ku killing dronela. Alko Jamela al support. The last time Jame made your decisional ta in his absence, I be backle with an audio. Ali Jame record or Jamea record, I audio it andala or written format. I have 4 APRC supporters all your co. Atele executive all doing the new alliance movement cool to.
Okay.
Bega Kelenti, na dunje as 2 equal powers. Na voting ke baroe I win.
So a new woman sort of do. They don't have to go vote. Is that what you guys trying to say?
They will not, I tell you this categorically clear. No alliance member sold voting ke la baroe unless we get instructions from Jame because don't be loring waleto. Jamelem APRC la party leader team, and as a result, party leader of APRC is the chairman of the National Executive Committee. Jammeh nyanta all major decisions in the party nyanta approve. At the moment, because Jammeh in the no alliance movement mold, idiamotale directly. I can tell you this for a fact. I'm not telling you my personal involvement because tell a private call mukasamba banta. But I can tell you they spoke. Even the executive confirmed that Jammeh in more bediamokan, and they were not happy that Germany no alliance movement of Bediamoka.
Okay.
Ningmang endorsement soto. We're not going to vote for Barrow. We'll wait for instruction now from Germany. Even now, 1 week before election. Nako, I'm coming. Nako, I'll candidate do pick. We're going to go that way, exactly that way. Win or lose, Ntolbita in the polls, APRC la name. And Germany can dissolve this executive or dismiss them as per APRC constitutional empowerment diala. Okay. So we're waiting for instructions. Nadiata Alaye, before 1 week's time, the Kumo Elameranko will give us a clue as to whether Jammeh be executive or support can sign or I may support. Na may support about Folantoli ko alake 10. So Mbewole Baton can sign.
Okay, Tamba.
Yeah.
Tamba. Nintamba in so totally full alter video GBJ. We already have that. So I don't want the conversation to be this.
Yeah.
But one more question. Tamba. Ndela molbete atol APRC normally. And we want our people to have a voice in this election. Jammeh did not say anything. Atolu alinyanta fero be kelala ali afontola alifali nyanta karte di la jamal. Malaf your comment woto. I move on with this. Thank you.
Ma long Jammeh be mune follow Moliye because between now and in nomination day a lot of things can happen.
Okay.
So Jammeh mem Moliye by the 3rd of November be wala kela.
Okay.
Ya mo.
Okay.
Yo, so ma long abe mem follow be lori wala to be but Jammeh control ko al mobilization okay on the ground ali more sensitized ali retain APRC kono e kanata another party.
Okay.
Be wala can sign.
Okay. Gitteh.
Yes, ma'am.
Nga something personal financial mba play for the benefit of other people. Unta jam fandela back just to remind them what I'm about to ask.
Malam Falka mwele clearly bang. It looks like Kondela Jamma Fongola, the network is not very strong. Farul Kande mwele bang.
We can hear you.
Voice mwele, yeah.
Okay, mwele.
Okay, good.
Okay,
good,
so
good.
left Minkela, I have something personal for you. Mba play just a little to remind other people.
No problem.
Alin so 1 second na. Okay.
Akalo platform kan dulalto Gambia dulalto taren ka fo mandin kolie ko al nyanta aliye badia fasa.
Mona be dañi di ko particular amna ben ko do de taw so da bay tout ci di wax sosé Gambia nen ni falle so bokk di sosé.
Bari nako albadi ya fasa akafo jumalle mal badi moti ako wolem Usenu Daboti memu UDP la nyaadon ko
way ci wax ci won ni jambal ci bokk mom kan lay wax mo nek ci bokk ku moy bokk wala moy Usenu Dabo nga am ne ko nek ci parti parce que sosé
na adam bar man ngolo
isa sante ko do sosé
nte ko
man
man la fi si kuwe dunna banko kam bari
man de ko affaire xajalo duga ci rew way
ala na so nga nyimu sunni wala kuota nga fay no problem ala nga badi ya fasa
way bete suye jigen mo ko lolu ben ci constitutional no problem di fatal bongo
bari badi ya fasa e ko nyosu bu do bonde de nyona falo
way fatal bongo ne ya ko de
President Adama Barrow la manza kunda kono bi ninde nga jeji be nkamal ndem mandin ko te bari nkamalu
man suma bay bi guri dama de ko social
bayri mu forol
parce que man gom na ko
jalba ku ya de ko ni mu foroti ni e bunya ba ke kamalle jalba ku ya de ko ni mu foroti ni e bunya e kamalle
mais jeli ba ko ya de mu ne gor mu gorde toujours ila bunya
President Barrow la mansa kunda e kuke mandin kole mi alon ko kabirin Gambia ba ma ya gulu mansa nana make adu mansa nana de soto la nyim banko kam min bakel mandin kole Leader immigration sa ñaton ko Sidi Touré mandin kolem drug squad la ñaton ko kasama mandin kolem central bank la governor boy kinde wase di mandin kolem Allah famle leader of Gambia prison services my name is Bijay mandin.
Okay. Gitteh.
Yes.
Gitteh nga kuntu jele to pour malla fi bawo time is just against us lafta mo le remind na dorong follow jandi beñi nin kala to la question ola la fita ya clarify mo le munat neñum andun iko malo yo word kilin na foje munan ne koy malta
abaraka bake yalon kabri ngani ndia moke ngaje mo jamalu minni alon ko e malla fi tonya moyla ye nyinke tribal issue di dol fan ko ngamandin kol nen nyindula mbe mo le jabi kam mol ko e malla tribalism la banko kam bari ngaje minnu kawo diamol ke ika tribalist multa ike fasa because ila interest le bije political. UDP la deputy party leader number 2 in UDP. Wala kata banko ka na tata surwalia, tata jolalia, tata sererolia, tata balantolia azafo kal carte fa UDP. Barna tata mandin kolia buka fa al carte fa UDP akafa kal badia fasa. Nara mandin kolia. Akafole mandinka kunda akafole ko albadia fasa al usenda bo fasa le carte fire ndeko womu kuleti mi alon ko daji ka kendende wala yatin na respondanko nin ayatuma kondol sonda wota nga badia fasa nin sonda bayre nga clear ko tribe ko malla fi kafo political platform o kan
yes
bara kumadal de purunde ase mandinka nga jabiro ke nyin kuola momoro ndiye nyin je ko nandirolam ite mari ngani ya dole bela minnin tonya ngani o man clear ndebe min foka wala nyindi ko niko alna badi ya fasa mandinko al badi ya fasa ndol badi njallabe politiko kon Dr. Sise mandinko de mai fati mandinko usenda bo mandinko bibi dabo mandinko adama baro mandinko lamin boja mandinko amadu keda mandinko niko mandinko la albadi ya fasa ni usenda bo fa mandinko niko mandinko la albadi ya fasa fanyil benda mandinko albadi ngolti ibe mu mandinko albadi ngolti ibe jumala fasa la woto alkam mwene bang
nkemo
ibe jumala fasa la nyil kono ako usenda bo nde ko wode tonyade nin atuma ko badi nka fasa alnga sonsa ka kumo mimvo alnga songa la sign mandin golu alnga son let's for you know benefit purposes nko nin ayatuma ko na ala kumo mbe sonna la fang alnga songa la kumo nga badi ya fasa but let's analyze that badi ya fasa because badi ya fasa nyo subudo mon de buka mo subodo may badi mo ikana fale nin nada badi ya fasala ndon nyanda jumala fasala president adama baro minke mandin ko le nyimbangun kan man sanene market 60% of cabinet right now ko mandin ko le amake out of tribal issue because adama bama mo be alon ko fulolti afama mandin koti. But in the composition of the security, the composition of ministry, the composition of senior civil servants, abe manding kollet, fall mantere munafanka. Niya moke palaso da kala dimbayal nafaka kuol ke ku kendol kala banko no fote badi ya fasad. Almanyan ka ole fasa. Alnyanda ka ole fasa, ndanga ole fo.
Okay, so Saitala, go ahead.
Iko malo min fonde wala you know yalom kujamal lebe fokam because ntolu jang adiate akuyate si ko be nyimbanko kan si tribes see a lot in whatever they do, unfortunately or fortunately. And I, as a person, wouldn't have much problem when it comes to tribes seeing themselves. Because if you want us to remain, with our cultures and our traditions and our norms and values, you have to promote this tribe matter. I don't need tribes only I feel they want to be represented. That's okay. Neither the United States politics, they talk about tribes. They talk about the Hispanic vote, the white vote, the black vote. They talk about this. Neither the Britain, they put people into different sets. They put them, the Muslim vote, it's the same. But they look at it from a positive prism.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. We have a diverse community, and to see that representation, puru cultures, people from different ethno-linguistic backgrounds here, that's fine. But we have people, particularly in the United Democratic Party, minnuka fo molieko, Adama Baroya Fonkentolia Fulol Tijang, ba e manding quality, but kabiring a carte of fire from Fulolom, Afon Findiko Fulolom. Number one, why is that a problem? Why should that be a problem? Adama is now a fuller. Why should that be a problem? Ya tola ekafa Adama Bari. Imoke because of his incompetence, because being a fuller has nothing to do with incompetence. Why have they moved him from being a mandinga to being a fuller? Ekafa Adama Bari.
Okay. Gitteh, say.
Ikabuka manding call fasa eko Adama be manding call baikane aka fulo le katanda fananin sarakulen. Nga min fo woya itandi o molal kalka min fo albe wuli yalla albe fani yalla foka manding call ye albe wuli ya
Gitteh, we want better words. Take that back.
So okay, I take that back because I take it back because niajibe ndola mansa kunda jola minister killing nebije as a minister Bakar Baji.
Okay.
Sarakulolu there is one Sarahule Musa Dram.
Okay.
Fula bije Dauda Jallo ning Ahmad Ba.
Okay.
Sana nadol kaga palaso ta manding kol bula kadi fulola alman tonya fo so ntola mol so min alon ko UDP mandingas min alon ko ikata manding kol la community ndol be manding kol ka fo ko Adama Barrow ka manding kol bo palaso tole ika fulol le kijani sarakulol ntolu I as a young man in grassroots politics ndadale mandinka community I'm a mandinka. I went to my mandinkas, I went to the people ning alfal kasika fanye ko alla president de kaka nyinni nek nganyini karo ke jumale afale ka fo UDP ko le ka fanye.
Okay.
So it's all here to purka mol divide ntena da kaole ka itandi molla ko manke kumati min sotota. Tafo Adama malaf manding ko la nyimbanko kan Adama ka manding kayale kele Adama fawman ke manding kodi. These are things ibe minu propagate kan on the ground ajiyam seka me munyano awulta ko nga manding kaya fasa UDP mkola ni minu ka fonde be tribe kumole fokan inyanda tala ajiyam seka le no makafa eko ila nyindi am sifa yabula para mandang ajiyam seka fawla usienda bolo da platform kan 3 weeks ago here akoni aje ka for UDP ko it's a tribal party because UDP is led by Mandinka. Barning ayatumako UDP fulole ya lead nu ite osiva fola. Why would Usenu Dabo stand and mention a particular tribe as if it is fullest mini alonko wolelka UDP accused of tribalism? Again, this is all a target towards Adama Barrow. Abeka dada telea kaitandiko Adama Barrow manke mandinko di fulolom anim fulol lebe fule killing commanding call kele nyimbanko ka. Ne Usenda bolo wo message la moy ay mimfo ka voko ha manding call niaje ka fonde tribalist mu manding call. Muna nama forek I'm not a tribalist. Why would he mention a particular tribe? Wallel mu problem oti nyimbanko ka. Usiana keba ya be tembo mindo anala alpha ya be tembo mindo amanya na sito fola ala political platform kan nim aya tumako amanke tribalisti wala mantra tribe use kan for political expediency.
Okay.
So
Gitteh, hold on.
Inyanta murune fangol le ya.
Gitteh, hold
Charity
on.
begins at home.
ntolla Binto media network nibe sirinja mi mun tolla question ot yaman din call kontile ministerial politician ol tan tolla nge jele bare ila finto ka senende ka tol fonfo adi ntolu Gambian ol sitale wati tambita jammela time ko jamme aka badi ngol le tombong aka palasol dila nini kata jola so nada coalition oje wala fana yo pardon neta MPP government albe nyim palasol killing chirkala le bang ali di siola min kata ma
you see kukilin dalada wala
hey kola so
we have to be
alimba tumma fo moyenga line o la alin sof do man
we have to be sensitive to our diversity.
Okay.
We can be sensitive to our diversity. At the same time, mansaka mol sotole at personal level mini alonko ayamira ko ani wolel se doku keno.
Okay.
Wole atina banko luwa abedama mafoko jolal damake palaso do fulol damake palaso do nie jolal damata barola manzakunda jolal I minister be bondi foni. Constitution has no problem with that.
Okay.
But that is not even a problem as far as I am concerned. The problem is afonyin alfali ko itolia bulaka a particular tribe target kafale ko albadia fasa. This was the point. Me along konga diamo ke wala adun nimmo mo tilindingoti ilafta kela mo tilindingoti ilafta sonna tonyala ibita lela mo mi yake yavo jide min fo tonyalonde ni dada surwalia ne ajamse ka surwalo anena lo banjula ko ka albadia fasa anena mo foje anena man lo kanila jolali ko ka albadia fasa anena man da serero li ko albadia fasa munadi na bita man din ko la community ka fa albadia fasa ndiko manke daji ka kende di kabo alfabul sako political alpha but ni o fetol ka fe be kam fala won wala bari wol nyankela banko ka
jani belayno Lamin, do you have anything to what Gitteh just Ninjite min kachatenting?
Yeah, I've got a lot to say.
Tribal is very sensitive. We don't want to go too far in that. So go ahead.
Yes, I can confirm that Gitteh mamoneng ala audioto ngalla moyalale. But a Gitteh la speech amanya na kela Gitteh be public platform oleto. Gitteh just because Ajiam Sekaya for wala Usenu Dabo ya for doesn't make you right. It doesn't make it right for it fana sell a public platform auto yakuma sifal for molia amanyinya. Even though Tonya le memem for the majority of the ministers are mandinkas, that's for the media, that's for the pollsters, that's for people who run the polls to say, oh, a lot of wall of votes went for this candidate, a lot of Jola votes went for this candidate. Media houses can do that, polling stations can do that. In Britain, in Nenata Moila, Prime Minister Low, Walala platform auto, any of his speakers, Labour Party at a conference to Amame, Liberal Democratic Party at a conference to Amame, Tory, the Conservatives had a conference at Amame. In Nenata Moila for the Scouse, the Broms, the Gaelics, there's all the people that make up the beautiful United Kingdom. In Nenata Moela Profomo to Kafoko, oh, minister, that is a Scouse. The minister, that is a Geordie. The minister, that is a Cockney. In Nenata Moela. Never, because it tambita will level out a long time ago. If a man for a Wallem on public platform, named Boris Johnson Lota, about Falako, the Tories are gaining momentum in Wales. Yeah? It's our for no NPP is gaining momentum in Fonyi. That's fine. Imanyan nakaloje ka fokoha Boris Johnson la minister but na Wales.
I think you are quoting the matter from the middle.
Okay.
I am 1 minute. I am a politician.
You're reinforcing the tribal belief, and that's something you shouldn't ever do as a politician.
No. You are not getting what I am saying. And that statement has nothing to do with tribal beliefs.
You can come back.
We are politicians. Just let me answer this just quickly. I'll just answer this quickly, please. We are on a political platform. This is a political season. There's a section of Gambian society that is huge. almost 44 or 42% of Gambia's population, of Gambia's electorate, belong to a particular ethnic group. If you have an individual that is going to those people, misinforming them, you have a right to make sure that misinformation is corrected. If not, that can cause you. So I have to clarify, you are trying to agitate a particular ethnic group against an individual. That is what the problem is. That is what is not supposed to happen. For me to come and tell you, in fact, as a matter of fact, this man likes you, I am bringing peace in that community, because ye mol kam fandi baro kamale ka foye ko amamala fi mandin kolla ye mandin kol kam fanda kam. If I come up to tell them ko ning ayatuma ko amalla falla ata nyin kela, to make those points is to tell them ko alla falla and alman problem so that amam falla. I think I have brought peace. I think my objective is to make sure there is no hatred or there is no detest towards my president in a political year from an ethnic group that has a lot of votes. We need the votes. We need their votes, and that is the point. I want to make that very clear.
Okay, that's exactly what I said. Yes. You are emphasizing a belief system that should never ever occupy our public platform. You are on a public platform with the president sitting behind you. Platforms in the country do not get bigger than that. You shouldn't have made that speech at all when you're on a public platform. You understand?
I have a totally different view. Very different view.
My view.
So we're going to hold it there. I'm going to take few calls. Alamanyon Soto. I'll hold on. Yalong nga falile. Mbina normal. So ngal mutale bi tak mantalu bulala. But at least a few minutes later, a few callers alta. Then we can wrap up, okay? Mbal tentula mbal jaila. Binto Media Network, as usual, mbela no elala left a hormone in bunya. Nite along go man sola conversation or follow can and call, because we don't want to malafia kuma sambanang mi along it wasn't part of the conversation. And do left alia ke respect okam ngaka hormone in bunya. We've been having a conversation, real conversation here. So focus on what we are talking on. All right, talking about. Caller.
Yes.
Caller?
Yes.
Caller, come moile ba?
Kanke moile Binto.
Okay. Hold on. Mbat. Mbuke moile back. Mbat. You come moile side.
Kanke moile, nteke moile back.
Lefta mobe. Alim call na WhatsApp. Al kanan call line auto. Nali call mbuko moile. And it won't be fair. Ibe fem fola I cannot hear. So left alien call na WhatsApp. Okay, Sane, please. Study ma Sane lonkodi.
Yes, intelem sidia Sane Binto mbe konton na bake ni la media molu.
Okay. Bismillah.
Mbela luntangol fanan konton na bake Mr. Tamba aning Mr. Gitteh. Mente kontan di fanke call because ngaje ko they are very young and mol mi along political ambition le soto. Andung ku kilim fanam bije tla kacha kan kono ikanyo batule ibuka nyo saba ibuka nyo neng wen kontani bakle adi nyimbe sola ni politics fa la Gambia. Okay, nte nga 3 point le sota si keno iten ben sonola but nga start on the side of because comediamo ka start no nyame ekwas nyimbe Gambia. Nte personally I was a serving member in the security forces. Mol nyanta me understand la walem niya jube Mr. Gitteh to nyalem nene mantra in the security forces. But I cool for in ECOWAS la kuo or troops la deployment I sense me and Gambian all ikaje misinterpret bakele. Yes, nte I'm neutral. Nte yaje mota for la convening political party. Okay, ninata ECOWAS la deployment, peacekeeping in general. Aka koleali troop deploy. But ne triple deploy fananke bondi abuka easy. Because ya jube even in peacekeeping political bije Binto. Don't bije mi anko del manke soldier ti fangi manke police ti. Wolka balu wolto. Ni yalon commissioner binadre ye kudo bonna fuko man safe ni le bikina because ika balu wolto. So wolka wolle kan you think ka extend. But wo fanan ka dia peacekeepers will make it a true polity. Until we went to Liberia, we went to Sudan.
So
in Sudan,
the deployment is not a problem, right?
To me, in a deployment man problem sort of, because me what is more concerned to me is Mansakunda Nyanta na security forces sembentiala yela welfare ya concerned in Nyanta, because na security forces ya understand le konita ta mission la. Security forces la soto bebe mission lalto. Nintol tata Sudan, what been na molta da Sudan, ibe Sudan downsize kan. Ntola mol man kontani. Nintata Blal Dolto, there are some Sudanese, Wolman Lafika, we don't need you here, but yet still we want to sustain our life there.
Okay.
So, but I mean for them near in Senegal, because more California means Senegal, Seattle, Gambia, and Gitteh I mean for, I'm against, but Gitteh I mean for it makes sense.
Okay.
Near the Senegal, Seattle, Gambia, Equals Fananica deployment, expenses to only do it. Because Senegal is too close. Then they be more. A flyer all the way from Nigeria, military equipment are very expensive. Okay. Transportation is very expensive. It's easier from. It's easier more Jamaican and Senegal. Yeah, not Gambia.
Okay.
Yeah, don't hold back like Senegal and Seattle. Malla fuola. But you know, I can't nyang yang hani yatra kudolo begin. Min creator is equals la mission like the world. Okay, Ninata just to run quick.
Run quick. One more
Ninata President Barola visit to Kanilai. One person left our think I'm not Nin Lamin Tambs Manso world.
Okay.
Because one thing to Nyanta understand, either Baro is competent or not. What is more clear and what is more evidently clear is he's a president. And the President Bukata Dulato advancement. Then President Kata Daoda. Kule kata mole kata ye diamo ke ya foko president kana jannede bara ala namo nyinam and nana ka lafta nyinni so gamela mol they have right ya foko control man la fi close door meeting to lafta bantala but little accept la mol man nyane blame la they like it because president Jama Baro may force so little ko we want man la fi close door meeting but fan also can choose ka foko manta or nata ta lafta min fola ta fola. Okay. So what dulani inte to me there is no problem. Can you blame? Atuta jamela mol blue.
Okay.
Baron tata wolto amanta to kanila. Okay, the last one Binto. Wale mnying coalition on ying. NPP APRC. You see Mr. Tamba. Ntenga Tamba is a very young and very smart guy. And don't Tamba follow so subtly. Yaje political. Nkana jube ko malla fikarla. Tonya lengaje ko aje ko Baro is incompetent. But Tonya Bedama Yanta Sabat La Walto, Moli Alonco Alakarango, Molka Wole focus, because Molka Joko is smart at Kanantale. But the Kumado be Nika for, it can more mislead. Because Tamba Funun Janko, and near Baro Lafta Kabjamen Nati, as a national sign, as a national because of Sembole Babulu, and do Namo Jamaka Wole. You understand? Because look, Albanian understand la core. Some of the make a Jametonium allegation on them. But a jamme a monkey indirectly and Baro a problem sort of allegation will be coming for a monkey is with Baro. It's Gambians.
Okay, thank
you. And a monkey tonyati, no, but we've been to somebody, and a monkey tonyati. But a minion to kill a process on your Tambaya alone, but not a court, so not as a not no sound. But look, as a former president, you need to be respected. Nabina Alanya, a killer Yami will be. So Tamba should educate his people because to me, Tamba is misleading his supporters to gain popularity and allowing Timo. It is wrong.
Okay, thank you, Sane. Sane, but then now it will opportunity valid.
I see that Binto, but you think the body don't be killing the wrong.
It's sabar, and it's sabar.
Okay.
Hello, Binto.
Tamba, hold on, Sane. I got cool anchor. Hello, caller. Sane, hold on. Kola, Todi Malo.
Yeah, container in a mulbi.
Todi Malo.
Mr. Usman.
You can't hold in the place, Usman. You better maintain that real quick. More la call us all. I leave telephone number like a vibrating. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm be container in a program.
Bismillah.
But Gitteh appointment for I have for damn a man would yam wokelaje. I understand commanding command, but yam seke memfo. I memfo I have a true account. I call Delo Len Ducal Dab. Ama naman suru account mai anyanta wala interpret la ale ala delo jukal ay wala so atewo jele ko wobe ko ale mandin ka fasake
Okay.
Stop right
so,
there. Stop right there. Honey, stop right there. No.
Gita,
No.
You can
I will send you the video. Stop right there. Mansuru Akamfo. No.
Gita, hold on.
Dindi wolo mati bara nyanta alon na nabe diamla nyanta diamla nyamin kapo. Maybe kafola kule kata aka peke. Dindi nem anyanta doman na politiko kono.
Osman.
You know,
political be care. Let's get going. Let's take point make equal.
Ala diamul nyanta kela. Ala diamul nyanta kela horomol ti ani bunya di. Bari aka diam nyamen o diamul mang nyang ana.
You see, this is what they are.
So I'm with Tamba.
This is what they are.
Okay. Ndenga
kumol min for afai on jabi. You know, let's talk about issues and stop telling how I speak. Woman na fasodo.
Gitteh, hold on. Gitteh be jinkanal. Gitteh mbatu. Gitteh, hold on. Mbatu. Screen of all of fare. Hello, caller.
Hello, Binto.
Todi madu.
Ndeto Usman le albenyari.
Usman dole fanan duntana for the same Usman. Rolling.
No, different. No, nyimu different one all. Even so demanding.
Okay, Ibrimintina real quick. I left ngamin discourse ali ola kacha.
Ali min discourse bi ila mol ila ni gentleman flow ni Lamin Tambs ni Mr. Gitteh bebe konton.
Okay, bismillah.
So love a few points like clear. La ya nyimu banku do call. We all have a stake to read. Ila platform on you ika moderate nyam is very good and then people are following it, you know, so mbe ten to lawol. Going to the points. Na ku follow minde Lamin Tambs ama agree ala kuma kan jama balla bari I point dandal for, you know, well they are very very clear.
Full of out of that. Full of please.
Okay, I mean follow for Wolom itellas ila leader is Yaya Jammeh. So Yaya Jammeh la position le Batunkang, Yaya Jammeh la position for daming, it'll be bulala wol no. That's what I expect from every loyal follower.
Okay.
So Lamin Tambs point was very clear. So nimbora woda mina Gitteh la karole because na banko la fanko anala nafulo na la tanko bebe Adama Barrow le bulo kono me biti lo minto.
Okay.
So me point follow me address la Gitteh la point follow me mundi wolom in tribalism ko. Number one, follow. The most tribalist human being or politician in that country is Ahmad Gitteh and Adama Barrow, and I will back it. So adawar nyawanya molbi karandale moltama.
Please, can I personalize?
Okay, ilang point. Okay, long point depend.
Yes.
Okay, long point depend.
So point depend. I don't want to come from where ko idala warte.
Okay, it's alright. It's all right. I got kuma kan kono for mol male alpha bal but I understand. Yeah,
yes,
I apologize.
I take that back.
Okay, I take that back. Long na point for sign Binto. Long na point. Ala ku follow me yakina nga point for Ahmad Gitteh 2016-17 atel lota suwal benenja.
Hani what be woman can topic. Bi Usman.
But na abe min foga mbala point ni address kam Binto for simol so banal nganna point
2016 topic ma manager
sister these are the kind of things that they do. I am more like surwal
I bakari dabo neng I lawyer dabo na ko la musol surwal ledi yalam
so say ningo wala musol musuru waledi ningo la musuru waledi ngenen
indi Gambia mano abole ke kan is going a very divisive politics abe Gitteh nyol use kan kata mandin kolia kanyum kuma sifal fa min for platform or and then abe falay balde I mean the audio guys at Sekumbala nyol use kan kata fulolia ka fo ni mandin kol nata ibe nyine kala so they are using that divisive political tactics molia belo.
Okay, thank you.
Stop. Diamu furimol bula ndol buka UDP je as mandinka party ndol kal jele ko as a party that does not have Gambia's interest at heart ndemo mandin goldi ndol buka
kola sol siata
la UDP ndem ko almanke mandinka party the majority of mandinka buka support.
Okay, nga kola doleta hold on
Binto atol le kal fonke ongun jay
njay birimintin ka real quick mbe la no fenkalam
yeah mbe molu be konton na ila luntown na koto kelo Gitteh ni Tamba.
Okay,
nge be konton programme diata ba a enta den demanding Yeah, so mbe fenka tamba lafta wole fenka rek because ngamo ya lafa yin kala kutsun dola but already ya yin ka wala le. Baro ako noto coalition or noto alliance. Yalo ni ba fala mo len tol ko no. Yen na fenne fala yes.
Okay.
Yo tamba nyol manya yen so mom so demandi manya na tala lorin drong no. Say yes be kala damante because for moli.
Okay.
So the other one ngamo ya ka for comment Jamela family nobody moma either ma endorse wala man fem for but ndo kuma kilim for like jala man jamme ngame long ba jala man nin tamba ka professional wait nyim fen ko kwale sono wala ko la endorsement wait afa ayeda po e fen programme mo because ba jala man nana ta diam la ngame long maybe saying yes because nte kan like le.
Okay, thank
maybe
you.
seen as
Thank you.
for Barbajala afa akana old mira
Yeah, we have to let him go. I can't even click this thing. Because Mbuka moy mala fi kuma kaye fo ntulo mami moy. Alimba to call us all alin so 1 second. Okay, Tamba, go ahead and jinkang then Gitteh sina.
Okay, so can you menata the first time, Jang? The first caller raised a few issues. Malafikata Gitteh la pass rhetoric in no, I don't want to go back.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so you can you menka for koten peacekeeping is fine. Yes, peacekeeping moment problems at all. Senegalese forces dominated the ECOWAS, but they're under the ECOWAS peacekeeping mission. Problem tala. But I can tell you for a fact, yeah, because Soldado men duntanan Gambia in 2017. Ibemanke ECOWAS soldiers. Yes, ECOWAS has a large contingent of Senegalese forces, but there's another separate battalion and a half.
Hold on.
A committee.
Tamba, Mbatu, I will take this call. No one more call, then we stop all the calls. Hello, caller.
Hello, Binto.
Todi Madu.
Fat sen saballe Helsinki, Finland.
Mba fati birmintinda.
Yombe kontonna mbela moli be kontonna.
Bismillah.
Yo marinte be min fola Gambia kono nin si fatam fan so nata jentol man millo nyin Ahmad Gitteh le asina Gambia. Kan tonya be damin to Ahmad Gitteh kabiri wato min na fango mo buka si fatam fan si kumofo nyin Ahmad Gitteh la kalo kay tandiko ntolla alfal militambita biri njawara nyolla biri usenda bo nyolla biri mo ko tan la ke kol itol kumandi ko woli beye surwa musol lenyini woli faka kumbo ko woli beye faka fisiyandi mandin koltile woli beye surwa musol lenyini Gitteh ni yajabe o fola Gambian tolman si fatam fansilon Gambia be mu Gambia leti Gambia fula jola sara hule mandin ka sereri mbesi killing ntol da malla ka futu nyoye ni si fatam fansi kumo ngamoy ni Ahmad Gitteh la andu ni Ahmad Gitteh la fanantata
Mbare muso
mbe topic mi maka
sister Fatu
Gitteh hold on akaka min jinka wolem anti yami info and o video be mulija it's been a while so
anti yami ya wala fo
malla fala ku ko to ma because sometimes
Binto mbebe kuma kilinne anti yami ya minfo Ahmad Gitteh fana minfo nta fana ka wala fo
okay
anti yami ya minfo Ahmad Gitteh wala fo Ahmad Gitteh fana minfo duniya ya mo nta fana ka wala fo wala mun woto ni anti yam ko sifatan fanso alinga badi wali fasa woto Ahmad Gitteh folole nyimbadi ko sambana Ahmad Gitteh folole ko
barengo
ntolla mandinka alifali buka mandinka musoli nyini fayta te ni fula musol ni surwa musol lela andu Gambia ko non toli wulu taranga wotara Gambia woto ni anti yam ko
sister Binto
ni anti yam ko mandinko lal usenda bo fasa ni anti yam ni anti yam ko alinga usenda bo mandin ko la usenda bo fasa woto aya moy Ahmad Gitteh folole la Ahmad Gitteh folole ay complain
okay mba fatu sai ita mun tolla alfalet ita en tolu be wulule nto Gitteh on to be sirinja sai kama alfalet ita ben tol karande la no mina tol nyanta mina fallinna no nyin tribal ko to bawo ku sensitive ringolem andu malla fi asama natol ten tol nyato akana fitino sambala ita be mina
Binto tol mi ngatoli wulu yenta min geten Binton tamu sererol to barenta ka futu mandin kadingo pirle badi bun kadingo woto e salon kontol ma wulu si patam fanso kono nteli mammen si patam fanso kono andun tol mandingol wulu si patam fanso kono andun tol nganna alifal tarale mandin ko kata fulo kata jola kata sal kulo futu ntol be dundi woto gole nyama bi fo Ahmad Gitteh moti ba min nyanta nala lola ko ka wofo ko wo mu kulati min manyan na kela ntolla mandin ka alifal wali buka mandin ko li futu foy kata si ko tan le futu woto bi ni adiyam e ka fanan lota kay tan diko
Sister Bintu aka minka diam dem malon de minka diam dem malon baraka aka kumo nimko aka kumo tanan alabandula ate ole foka amang kumo gonda nyanta bola damen
okay, thank you.
Adam mama for bara tele platform o to ba tele tafola ani mili ya ko ni fana na ta platform o to be
mba fatu mantarete lan ka fo jitele ko mba fatu da mama ni ta pareta be iba aba clarify la ya
yes mbadu sister mbadu time tije abe keba koto nimbi ko
wolu fa ka kumbo ko muna ya tinnan to lamandin ka alifalu to akon to lamandin ka alifa mandin ka kewote na bulo ya ko ben ako wol be ka mandin ko li futu wol be ka ta si ko to wol futu
you know ya
kuma la timin kuma nyi mala ti Gambia ban ko be do ya rinyami ba
okay thank you
ila kumo angwa you know ajibe sister Bintu nsonga respond nyina very quickly
okay
yaje ni
Gitteh so
hold on
imbe opportunity be delay la ni lafta fange murunde ran just to clarify this hello caller
ndemandra clarification ala ndemandra clarify I'm just responding very simply because
Ismaila naam
fofa na ibrimintinda
okay Binto le programme be diari mbake
okay bismillah
mbe jiberlal be kontonna mbe min fula Lamin Tambs wolom ko ni aje APRC call wakilte tata coalition ola ya kele based on ya jamela issue
okay
mobe yalon ko ya la issue in the international community amanyinya andu Gambia jam kumol min batira ya jambe nin tol manta coalition do nin adamaro tara the same government mbulo tara the same miran killing ya mira ko nin pati dol nata win nyim banko kan inate ko be TRRC implement la Gambia ko ya mira ko womu ya jamela kairol ti bang famanke ya jamela kairol
okay
because niya jube nyule constitution dole da e millandi député mansom minna and wo constitution on tol APRC supporters siaje ko is very biased a constitution na implement Gambia amenke APRC ko la kairot so ngaje ko nini adama baro tarta in the same government bulobe the same miran killing kono ngamira conseya la isu diamunole nga tekul nga jube through international community nga jube how best presidential pardon ya bas so that he can come home peacefully and now settle as ex-president yala office dia yala all the benefits murundi akan ndenga mira wole safeta than we saying ko na candidate mu ya jamelti nka ya jamel batu na mimfembe wala kala ni ya man diam that means APRC la in section of the people will man ta carte file ni will man carte file ni another government nata when in Gambia masakundata for be kala APRC e Cairo tile bang a party me along go through the new recommendation or TRRC recommendation is that the party should be banned jame should be banned from all politics fondon nyanda sila ngambulo la nyokan until what happen bang nyule mu order village means jame sambana Gambia peacefully other than through presidential negotiation pour ya SN jam peacefully. So you know muntela contribution Lamin Tambs ko we are all the same, we are all supporting the same political party APRC but let's come together nin divide certain thing itola nyin divisiono wote man sakunda sila APR sila. Gambians are also watching. Jamal le balanta, most section of the people le balanta, mol fanamba jube kana, because we are all supporting APRC for 22 years. So Ninkul Falintan Koena together, we form an alliance with the government. You know, Nitoli Ajeko, they don't want to go into that alliance because Barrow is not competent for Nintol Bebe into the system. You know, the Barrow change no bank, Barrow la Marlonta Falin no bank.
Thank you. Thank you.
Willem Tolbela Kairoti, Willem APRC la Kairoti. Let us come together. Nin division or nin divider. Mbenyoka ne mama sakunda win. Nin divider, you think will win in a sakunda again? Lamin Tambs, I sabar, let us all come together and we support the government, we support the alliance, so that our people also can be part of the government. You know, how best can come back home peacefully. This is my contribution.
Okay, thank you. Sign the call us bulala. Aduta. Mobile after the amula Gitteh soto Lamin soto. This young man. I am so glad Inata. Sign call us all alimbatu. Sign time banding knockout. So Gitteh left the
Binto,
okay. Ani tambai batu. Yalo na Gitteh la side. Abe Gambia le nata crash town koto. It's not gonna be good. Gitteh, go ahead.
Tamba, yeah. I'll come follow bang. I'll come. Minute ago. Coming. Yaje, sister. Dunia nafikia mkuja ubalti.
Hani Gitteh, you have to choose your better words.
But okay. Dunia nimbo tilim bala dunia adama di uman tilim kuja uba yaje ikanyin follow dunia be lunga falende just like President Barrow nde I am by tribe nde bama manke mandingoti.
Okay.
Mfama lo mandingoti mbama msurualti. A lot of these people minu kanyin kumo befo imam fellow. Number one, my mom is Wolof. She's pure. In fact, from Royal Wolof, Giants, the history, they are royals, from royal blood, in case all of you want to know. From Njajanjan, whether it's Njajanjai or Njajanjan family. That's number one. Number two, Nyimuso mi kafa mbinki walela alfa ka kumo min foten. Malafi kamurunga kambari. Mojama balbi ka video use. Video is 1 hour 50 minutes. Yes, 16 minutes wala 15 minutes later ya kuntuje. Wolung la kule keta mi alon ka jo ata bak panderi mbay. I fenne fala radio to back in February 2017. Kuma jawba mi alon ko ngala ma ba ko kam mandin kolye. Ya faham. Mo jamal be ken min alon ko woli la moy panderi mbay e min fo wol jamal hani bibe UDP ko audio use wolungo woli ende kumandile yen jayi yen tentunga min fo mbare musibe moy kanne bari video fa on defa ngawdi amo min genga mo sabol min to foje bibi dabo loya dabo anin sa dauda lady chilen is alive first lady chilen ndela nga kumandi sa dauda was alive nga kumandi that day nin sa dauda diamutale to apologize. Bibi dabo is my very good friend abe baluring nga kumandi Angleterre nga kachanu almost on daily basis nga kumandi nga fa nga ko nga video ke 30 minutes to apologize to all those mini alonko nga kumo fema panderi le mandin kola kuma fema mi alonko wolung ayendi mi bak wato kolbe kandiring adu mandin ga jamaya moy wolu yende so.
This connection gonna go. I have a serious question.
Ngaman salol samanang ka fo wulote kulu faylalem ni aje nyil kamol ne nyinni ya sabu. So
Gitteh bondi video.
Sorry, mole kan call nka
okay, call them. Okay.
Rejecting. Ya understand? Bibi dabo konyeko minka diamu wol tambitale nga understand. But saying manta mambeng ajiam steka e wotoko.
Mole be Gitteh call come. They're distracted.
Tribe kumofo. What I want mucho afonyin ke bay ko mandama ben ajiyam sekay talo aka tribal kumo fo because jitele afo woto mandama be ajiyam seka anin min ka fo mandama be tol be bayring dindingol lel ka kebal emulate bar nin keba ko do mi alon ko sa nin sayatema sibir fulal bije o ka dindingol emulate afo e mandama be adunte tribal kuo mbatu mbalal tribe kuo nde believe tako like nga fo e nyamen I am by tribe namba mamu surwalde mfama mu mandin kolti adun ndenga siri fo futu adunga terol sodo na best friend mu jolalde from childhood hanibi ndela hanina bungol mbamala ko be akatarawol bul that's my best friend and he has been the entire time I tell from ben kol kan de mbala ko rijeka so afoye ko ye murila kebalia ya afoye ko al tribal diamo bula kebale muiti I karantale mol nyante yakale tollela haninde nga fo at my age ndemu funding kew 2017 akawole fo kabiri wolung abota 2017 na at least ndeman tribe kumo ngambo tole because ngalon ko nga mistake ol kay moved on 5 years this year nado dado audio kamanang atolle manke mo kendol di bayri ndenga apologize I apologize about that adunga je ko is not a place to go to and I'm a young man but keba ko dol mi alon ko londo so de femol sodo itela party leader lo platform ka ka foko albadi ya fasa wo manyan kela
okay
doelo ako niatu manungo fulo le muitenyim fola disa nyinna mu kuolti mini alonko mo manya na kefo political platform ka bari kalo ita man fora so ka moli amar jite ninte muiti ala ka dale tribal ko tuje ase moda imu moda tite mu balje adu yeddingol le gulu ninte mate tite amin ka dia mu batude aba fola nya jite almu dinningol le ti tribe ko de alianta aliyo bula dunna alfal fana nyante yobula natu manunga ka min fojang dindingol la kota ni tol mum minti natuma nun ka lata wala abolo fala kafo ajiyam sekani usienda bo nyin tribal kumo min for just 3 weeks ago alfalu mini ale be sanji taworo wala dolbe sanji taworo ni de ko e kalo e kafo waliya mo intella
ite
ato de la mandal mambe
kumale lala je Gambian olko president katara sirinne alka platform o use alka kuma kanja wol fo alinyanta mine falin na woto NPP
e ko mum ven
Gambian olko nkali jele alla ralil to kuma kanja wol ka fo president katara siri ka politique ka president la platform alka president la platform o kuma kan la ka fo MPP alinyanta mine falin na woto
Okay, so yaje mimbe keri wolom nyindi ko kuma kanjao ndela nde I'm a very critical minded person.
Okay.
Ndelo rajanen ko ajiyam sega min fa manya na fole ko nga keballe nen. So min konte nga keballe nen woman wo yendela kumoje ko kuma jawlom because nga fa la miye wo mata la molta man dia Gambia dinjama kawlof barola platform kuma kan jaw jalle fotaje jumale kuma kan jaw fo minnu fo lafta wolle lo na bayri nteya kudo mu kuma kendo ni afo opponent to the opponent is a bad statement ningo usienda buka tax jo almanya na mansa kunda dilala e konga usenne ningo usienda buka so namo jola alkana mansa kunda dale mo kon kulubale adal ka kebale nek bari in NPP camp o manke nendiro do moto nyalti kiti bungole usienu muta ikai abuka son tax jola a banka tax jo ninjite o foy konde nga keballe ne so nde ya wote nendiro di NPP camp wote nendiro UDP camp ikawke nendiro so ye min fo foninga o kumol moy I will not believe that there is any NPP platform President Bedameng molka kuma kanja ol foje. Don't we respect our president?
Akitalo Fatma da Jawara diamuta kuma kanja oki. Ngamayba sisa fana mola kuma kandan tanfo. Tumir kumollo walete. Ntoluko Gambia Binto Media Network. Ntolunka minfenka jang. Let's do clean politics.
Okay. So
NPP.
So Fatma da Jawara la kuma kauming aya fonu. Ndenga statement ke wala ndi amuto wala specifically
okay
nga video bondala Fatumata kabira lota e dia moke ya jele tata normale ya sambana Ahmad ba tata no aya bondi platform okan ni bina dia mulan dolla Gambia jang platform okan ibuka da ya fo president en kanyi ni ne fode ni tata la dia mo fo pam nendiro fote buluje wale nendiro fo president be sira male mimfo ni ko be president fenkela wala nak iko ba blame la wala is going to be a problem, but yes ning atuma ko genuinely lafta nyo bunya la nga nyo horoma kuma kan jawlu manya na ka fo nyoma manya na ka nyonen adol nin chosano le ke bari bintu mote nyim banko kan mi yalon ko banko la luwato a alfayata kumata katambi president wala wote nyim banko kan Gambia la luwato president ne kumata mo beti mansata laya alala mansa kewlu hani annabiyo molu e katarela alala mansa kewlu lekot hani alala man annabiyo molu min yalon ko atele ke ki asa foy ko naltate ya ali bunya musa nin haruni e ki fir'auna le kan fir'auna mi yalon ko mo jawle bari platform de caring parti de caring min ka man sanne nyim banko kan ka alpha nen katambi nyul dol min ka foko kuma kan jaw ka fo npp la platform o ka wala platform olu president drone ne kan nenge president ila affiliate sol bi je min yalon ko wali koy mo udp dingol leti wol buka kuma fo tiloto president ba mateng president fa mateng president teng president la muso teng wol sina yelo ka fo mo le ka la banko do kuma kan manzata la ko ta'muruna an-nasa bil birri wa tansawna anfusakum wa antum tatiluna al-kitab ite moli amarno la ku kendola atare kanyine fawla afo mo le ko yela bungol kono ragle problème o be la bungol le kono je ragle folo president la alpha ya tambida mo be la nyim banko kan bari ka disrespect ko min kala ika hormanta ya min tilingala ibuka tilin nyaton kala ja ni ko moli alla nyaton ko bunya banko be la nyaton ko ite fawni la nyaton ko be la alpha alnga bunya folo wala hani ala ya be wala nyam
okay thank you
yes
yeah
okay it's your turn.
So nga diamo lal moyle nyinin karo ke jang nga jitela speech ni nga memfo aning kola sole memfo jente la conclusion o momenti wala ni masakunda wulita alota jama bengo nyala nyato diamo dobi je amanyan na fola that's different from ntemealon ko masakunda palastente bulu baro ka baro support a difficult tabaka a kolyata bake because baro le kalo fulul nyato because mbenga audio moyle ako fulul ye ko atemu fulo pir lati abama mu fulul ta fama mu fulul lati we heard the audio here in 2017 or 2018 fine he can say that problem tala but when it comes to campaign period amanyan now diamo sifa kela you understand because baro is a president for every other single tribe in the Gambia diamo be diamo to amanya na kela ni Usainu Dabo yake Ajiyam Seka yake it doesn't mean Baro nyanta kela Gitteh nyanta kela or somebody else to speak Gitteh ya memfo ama monen we have to be honest about that but he's reinforcing the same belief ni lota government auto platform auto national stage in public office all you need to re-emphasize is equality diversity equal opportunity mol bulayta e kontiroke jumale mandin koti cabinet jola jelle be cabineto wala polsta solia woke because wala molla dokwoti ite me lonko ibe public platform auto either you're a minister or you've been invited by a president to speak on a political platform because president ola meet the people's store Gitteh kadiamon on dame it was not a political campaign. It was a constitutional mandate. I meant the president. So therefore, he was speaking on a government platform. You understand? President Omanta presidential campaign la, wala local government election la, wala national assembly election la. If I'm right, nakata speech nying killing you meet the people's tour. It's a national tour, government tour, constitutional tour. Amanyana Lola, he's representing the whole state, was speaking Manyana Diamalaja. But what we have to start telling Gambians and what Gambians need to stop saying, Nimo FM for Memmandiae, Wala Tonya for Baraman Nendiroka, Allah stop ka for mole ko kari nenne. Nendiro is different from I fenne for Memmandianye, I fenne for Usainu Dabo ma Memmandianye, wala Adiyam Seka, wala Mandin Kole. What speeches see for an government office? Surwalem, Jolalem, Fulolem, Balantolem, Manjagolem, Sarahulem, Karaninkolem. Ntol bele ke jo, nkela welfare provide. We pay for your per diems ni travel ta. Wala ni tata trek ntol le ke jo. Na diamo sifa nga bula koma. Talk about equality. Talk about diversity. Ordinary people or Namantara government do kola nibe argument sifa for. You know what? Our government will provide equal opportunity. We will provide systems and put them in place to ensure there's equal opportunity for all Gambians of all regions, creed, tribe, religion, race. You understand that? Public platform diamo nyanta kela tenne. You understand that? Ni kata political diamo la, wala baroka menke sign, commanding call invite nan State House. Ka Jolal invite nan State House. Jola se lono la for ha. Yes, it's true. Sign Kabrin Jametata for sign. Barrow is the first person ka Jola appoint minister. Fine, because I Jola le command your meeting auto. Again, one reason why a head of state should never do that. When it comes to cultural events, Jola ka for tampa sotole, mandingo kase sotole, nimbaro tata mandika sunoto, abe mandika chosano diamokan. Perfectly fine. Natata Jola la for tampafto, aka Jola chosano foje, perfectly fine. Natata fulbe association auto, aka fulola chosano so, perfectly fine. But nabe government doku auto, in government hours, kafo commanding call 10, ntemu full pilati, surwal 10, Jola 10. No, talk about equality, talk about diversity, talk about every single thing mealanko is diplomatic, is formal, government functional.
Okay.
Fine.
Tamba
So,
sa itafane mo jinka. Yemen for la ko.
so kendi ndo e commandiro ke janne ako ha ate neutral tale amantara NPP support kambara anin jite agree ta kuol beto ama agree damen wala ni Lamin Tamba lafta gol peacekeeping mission ma foko peacekeeping mission is wrong. Gambia Security Services Kodibale make, Gambia State Kodibale make from peacekeeping missions. No problem with that. You understand? But Gambia Mantara water. Gambia doesn't have civil war. 3 months after Barrow swear turning, ako security service reform before I do not office ilafta ka kele. Naya kenum anyama. Big Gambia security forces will be running everything in the Gambia properly. Senegalese entire economic banta a long time ago. Reason Mayati Naimanta is because Barola paranoia. Barrow's been told Gambia Army ma like Munat Nama reform ke security services reform ke Barrow drop along. Okay, give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah,
Gitteh
I own a question.
than me.
Oh, no,
to alliance.
I'm not talking. I'm not talking. But I didn't
okay.
talk.
Yeah,
No,
Gitteh, you had more
alliance.
airtime than me. You had 2-3 times more airtime than me. Give me time. Yeah. So now you understand. Baroma Security Services reform ke. You get me? So Nyinko peacekeeping mission. Senegal is at war. Mambalang Senegalese bodyguard di Barola. Fine. Why? Senegal ning Gambia mu sovereign state solati. They used to be sovereign states, not anymore. Because Banco, nala security mantarebulu, ala territory mantarebulu, ala geo mantarebulu. Ya ika mo ka fo air, sea and land. A baby Senegalese le bulo kono bi nkadiamo nyamenteng. You understand? So Gambia la sovereignty le, Gambia la territorial integrity le. For last year man, Gambia security forces all bung jam fara fenye fen quarter. 4 year banka Paul fees all Joe fara fenye bridge onyento. Trans Gambia bridge men rename Senegambia bridge. Ye mola security bunje by Senegalese forces ye barama. Gambia la territorial integrity ale, Gambia la sovereignty ale, alkafu mole ko peacekeeping mission. Gitteh a mention njam before. Ako peacekeeping mission nyeng niaje Gambia man deploy kata Casamas ka Senegal makoy is because Senegalese la Casamas rebelol, they are not a threat to Senegalese administration. So ilamoy South Sudan Gambia ka deploy dame. Was South Sudan ever a threat to Omar Bashir? No, but we sent peacekeeping missions there. You understand? East Timor, Gambia peacekeeping mission BJ. Were they ever a threat to Indonesia or other countries? No. Peacekeeping mission movement, conflict lebijang, nga forces all deployed to manage that conflict. Sometimes peacekeeping mission ka community buffer zone between countries. It can deploy wallet so that the two countries will never fight.
Okay, Tamba.
You understand?
More call you Danny Roque about non-alliance.
No alliance movement.
Then I'll snap up last words.
Yeah, so no alliance movement APRC. APRC Mukilinati. APRC Manta Dulato. No alliance movement is a group of APRC supporters all may ye fangri group because imal lafi kata NPP alliance sort of because of reasons ngam for since June. The reasons are one, President Jammeh is opposed to it, and we know that first-hand information. Marlon filed a mind change last week or the week before. But as of September, President Jammeh was opposed to the alliance. I can tell you that first-hand information. For Naketa, President Jammeh is also talking to the other camp and telling them something. That's reason one. Meatinanga oppose. Reason two, na executive man party members all consult, imam Congress commanded. They didn't change the framework of the party and the constitution to reflect the party's new position. It all will direct. Iko ha ntolni NPP be dia mola kata alliance soto. Mol ko why NPP? Muna nal kata NPP support. Why not the other parties? Imang answer dino moli ko President Jammeh ko teng, President Jammeh ko teng, President Jammeh mawo fogali ndenga olonne, and I can tell you this for a fact, first-hand information.
Okay.
Alliance onying ntol nga memfo mambali alliance ola bara ke anyama al respecto di APRC supporters ola al respect di President Jammeh la. President Jammeh decision mentor in the past, major decision in the party. He backed it up with an audio. Nalko President Jammeh natol be diamo kanne ka falie ko ngamem falie in January 2020 ka foko APRC titala into alliance with any other party saying ngana man change alke kilinti alni baro e dokoke ala evidence itani mola nan man la the public to hear it. No alliance movement ye leaders also in the Gambia. National Executive Committee be Gambia. Ye secret meeting or commandi dolato. Ye President Jammeh commandi. Wala ye audio play. President Jammeh la mind change daming. Nintol nga worong as the leaders of the No Alliance movement. The next job puruntol be menkela. Willing to talk to our side of the people in Africa. Yes, we have seen or we have heard irrefutable evidence called President Jammeh saying a man change from our position in January 2020 and in August and in September saying a man change ako nga ke kilinti ning NPP doku okay. That's all we care.
Okay.
Yeah? Lamin Tambs individual opinion will not matter at this stage. Fango. Kavaro boat is taking me backwards. But the institution decide they're going into alliance with the NPP, so be it. You understand? Until an individual interest will not override the party's interest. So ni momo lafita namning NEC yambundan the same benu nyameng. Your evidence so yitandi nam leader sola. Until we communicate to the NAM member soul, and the No Alliance movement is powerful. You've seen it. It's getting bigger by the day because you mira nung ibe mentara NPP o mantara je. But for Gambia be change la ni APRC ye baro makoy, I'm 100% confident APRC ye doko don long. Until we're a patriotic party, we care about Gambia. The first thing be menkela woleng ka Gambia la sovereignty restore 100%. Ka Gambia la territory restore 100%. Kana security will funka, ka security reform ke, ka civil service reform ke. We can change Barrow government. Barrow himself at a change. Barrow has got no scope for improvement. But people can help Barrow government succeed.
That one is standard for your candidate. Standard law. Gitteh, Imam about No Alliance la nina quarter. Say something.
This is okay. Ndenga jenyame APRC and NPP, the internal affairs of APRC, I don't want to be involved.
Good.
The fact of the matter is, in any institution, you have a body that runs that institution, and in most cases, majority carry the vote. Yaya Jammeh is one individual in the executive of APRC. I would have told majority of the executive members have agreed to join NPP. I mean, whatever is keeping the rest behind is known to them. And I respect that. That is politics. I don't involve back. I am busy doing my politics and strengthening my party, which is NPP. And I'm sure by the grace of Allah, we're going to retain Barrow at #1 Marina Parade. Kukilina left him about what he's talking when he says this sovereignty, I geol for Senegal, Amalo ala diamoman clear 5 Kuren Fana Volebang, Mbemim Fola Olom Yindiko, France ning Germany ning Russia. You have electricity, Germany gas was from Russia, France, in fact, UK right now, Russia have gas of Kaima because you have a very bad shortage of gas in the UK right now. Russia is helping. In Canada, I mean, Ndolnga, pipeline also right from Canada into the United States. Nga fengol soto na agriculture fengolu milk solu from dairy. US major variety of those ones. Ninata aluminum materials. So these are things been along go be carrying electricity. European countries are selling current. Why would you make that a sovereign issue? If you can get a reliable energy, Ghana is supplying Benin with electricity. Ghana is supplying Togo with electricity. There was a time when Ghana used to supply Nigeria with electricity. Why would that be a problem? We want an integration. I agree on one thing. We need to sit down and look at our relationship. That's fine. And that is happening. Amakeno 22 years. I'm in Senegal ma agreeing on anything. Eka kamfale dry border soro. Senegalian soron karab ye dabitin. Nga batani batare ye daele. We continue under the same status quo. For 22 years. Jawra was the same 50 years, 30 years. For the past 50 years, that was what is happening. Now we are trying to get that thing undone, to have that relationship based on mutual respect and understanding and based on mutual benefit. And I can tell you that that is happening because, number one, the relationship between Gambia and Senegal is very highly cordial. Security be Senegal we do not have more than 2,000 economic forces, Senegalese, Nigerians, and everybody included.
Huh? Topic
okay, just 1 minute, wrong. 1 minute, black clear. We have almost 7,000. We have wait. We have almost 7,000 Gambian armed forces officers. We have the police. The police. There is no Senegalese police. Our internal security is 100% in the hands of Gambian police officers and in the paramilitary. Territorial integrity, sometimes you have economic. But in the armed forces, Fajara barracks, Ila Posol Mimbedlado, Farafeni barracks, Base barracks. The military is going ahead with its mission. Ibe new weapons all sankan to peacekeeping. They are reforming. They sent, for the first time in Gambia's history, we have a young man sent to West Point in the United States. For the first time since Gambia became independent, we have someone at West Point. We have people all over the world training. They just uplifted 250 Gambian military officers and men to go to Turkey for training. We are reforming and we are taking care of our sovereignty. We are not. Come on, we are not. Under Senegal.
Lamin Tambs, anytime soon, but
okay, final. Adamaya mang dia. Jongo ka kamfale aka stable. Nde naturally in sangar. Momo sangarolde. Adu womo alala kerolde. Alaka jongo dol soniandi dol ka sangar. Iyo ni sangar tawato do ni ka diamu, you get emotional. As we grow up, we tend to take control of those. Sometimes it's a fengo for the heat of things. Imang ingania. Yo alfa jamal lebe la moy kang jam mbe mol be hakedan la ning ayatuma ko nga kumale fo mi alonko akumo man dia mba fala mole aliyam fanye dia mulale ka mistake ok mi yede o be ka mistake ok bari dia mulala dia mo fana kono aka kuma kendol fo min alonko jongol se muna fanno oto ninga atuma ko nga mistake ok mol offender sakon na kebalo alfa min be la moy kanjang ngal be apologize ngal hakedani bintumbe kondo nambari muskendo ebe doku nyimma mina bankoye ebe platform o create ka molbina ebe ideal se ala bankola ko Lamin Tamba mbe tentula mbe jaila for your continuous efforts ka Gambia ta ka nte kambe na kubeto bari banko nyin na Cairo mbe lafta wala moma la fe Gambia ta civil war kono moma la fi economy etinya moma la fi mol ka fa moten economy lafta wala so mbe mobe tentula mbe jaila mba falala nimbara bake aliye watol minta kallamoy dol na jandele samana jande hani ma like yen ko nyaaw nya nimbe diamule kanale yela moyna mbal tentula mbal jaila almale naso simala la bar
Gitteh bar sa ye mola apologize ye tonyero ko kote oto yo apologize si fadu
no but man tonyero
Bakso jate la apology
apologize after burunta tonyero
Bakso jate la apology Bakso ko apologize bara membe for tonyalem
Lamin last word ngana bula
Binto Bantaba nala network anala la mola na jube la ala baraka bake ninyi kacha sifa kasoto ase me nyawnya mbe kambenna mbe benna dula dolto mbe d'accord lak fendolto jite men fotoñale mo bete sonna ku kilin na wati abuka soto fang mo possible no ala e keo da ay musoda ay marabulodi mola ay bulbadi mola so there's no way everyone is going to like the same thing all of the time. I'm impossible. But ntolbe men nyine kan wala Gambia la improvement Gambia la nyato tambe wala nyine kan.
Okay.
Yo lumbe sila mbe mansa do sotola me manke baroti na e Gambia improve no baro man futa no damen be ye kontan. Wo lunga nyingta lonna because sometimes nka mira mol mel yalon ko ninge dundi wa place to wala be Gambia sambala nyato. Ita Gambia samba no la nyato ite improve la. Baro is one of those people. Yo bare Baro mol ba koma all lafita ka vote lafita ka retain je ila democratic right le mitol fananti. Bare tol fanana democratic right ali yo respect. Ya moyla. So ni malafi mola wala abala political activity ta mandika nyamen ita yitandala ko nteleta betiate tate nan no ma janga nyinnin dada politiko nyanta kala wala nyaaw nendiro man nyanna tarlaje tribalism man nyanna tarlaje sexism man nyanna tarlaje regionalism man nyanna tarlaje yes wati don te ka fole foni barente boko doctorole ntati Lamin Tamba as a person you understand mol kanyinale kabrum be kelo ke kan kombo ni manja koli e melbe kombo e kanyinale de ni ko foni ni jola e galdimi mol nyinatale kabrum lota jang nka fenkol defend jang fulol defend jang kabru problem o soto mol kanyinale kabru nga sarahulel defend jang kabru caste system o soto jang jongol ning for all you understand ni ko foni wala jolale o tamala ka barente fango I have no allegiance to any tribe. I have no allegiance to any region. Nga lo nga Gambia doku. Dr. Omembe jarala sama. Abe kela scholarship o Lamin Tamba mendi manjagola. Wala sarahule wanata ke doctorate. Wala be jarala loptano kono. Ye jola membai. Dr. Omembai from the medical services. Wala nyanta kela nun Dr. Oti membe jarala nun inata abai. Iman na fesia o kurangoto. So let's think deep. Long and very hard as Gambians. Lafita menna waram Gambia la nyato tati. It doesn't matter for manjago le bije, for sarahule le bije, for jola le bije, for Christian for Muslim.
Lafta niyen kacha mbukan na personal ku sambana njang.
Yeah.
No man mol ka text le kanyinin ka fu muneta mu jamalet.
Ha.
Lafta tribalism.
Ha.
A sensitive ta.
Back.
Tolo mu dingolti. Mini ye siol join.
Ha.
Muso mi yentawulu. Manding call.
Yeah.
Mfa karonin call.
Ha.
Mfututa. Fula dingol lebe mbulo.
Yeah.
So nterol.
Yeah.
Sarahulel. Enin sererol nkan sita wala bulun karant.
Yeah.
So ntolunga o breach all lesoto. So si kacha.
Yeah.
Aka sensitive bara kula mi alonko ntol funding kel nyanta kachala nga eradicate nga push nga push fire boje ka fo moyo koy bias tale imanke fenkati ntol nga wo moyle so many times ka fo koy bias tale imam parti karle support wo manke na topic tibi karte tentabulu bare lafta nyina ofala tol fana nina timo lafta nyina ofala Gambian ole katol sambana ali voice alla moli al follow wala nanga mobe kanyandija ka foko Binto ete be pati karle ndanga o moyle ngo karte tembol andu man sija ngafoko al karte di APRC nena man sija ngafoko al karte di PDOS man nena man sija ngafoko al karte di UDP nena man sija ngafoko al president Barrow kala leader. I never done that. So mol mini ka foko I bias tale hada madingole muntati ninga topico min sambana nina timo topico min sambana mbola kachala kachabu ka mobe satisfy baranka opportunity di mobe lale kamurunna nka fola okay nga kachamin ke nyindong alfana e nana so ningwa wato finansita wali e nana so Gambia no la jiko falin ka foko kari bias kari fenkata ten ntoluma abelet so tamba ite continue.
But at the end of the day, yalong sometimes hani man kuke molba fola ko abe sirin lamenteng aman song kuke la. You understand? You can never satisfy human beings 100%. Difference in kana dameng as an individual or as a private company or at your home, you can say certain things. Me along ko, you might be able to get away with it. But the minute Mole appoint public services, and you for Gitteh, abe lorin damen platform in government kodole ba jokan. Government kodole or meet the people's store or meet the farmer's store. Government kodole ba fenkekan. In 2017, nganyine for ana minute, ni APRC dunta government jang. We will create an equalities commission. Moile. Momo dunta Gambia government doku wala the day men be appoint as an employee of the Gambia government. You'll have a proper induction. You'll have a proper orientation. Or maybe at a sila water fang because na mention nunjang. Ninte neneka authority soto Gambia. Mbe national service introduced la nan Gambia. Na karambuto dingo karamunto ding men jita. Amanta straight university or aman doku soto straight. Ibita national service. Mbe drill la water. That's where you're gonna learn equality. That's where you're gonna learn diversity. That's where you're gonna learn nationalism and patriotism. Near doku soto Gambia government. Because the employees will be social from that national service. During the national service, he excelled at damning. Ila skill button and damning for mole alko he yara Binto mu good welder woman olete. Na jubela government juma department dame be doko kenola daming. Nim vacancy bi jembe sambala jenge employ. Near doku soto. You'll have a proper induction. Nationalism again, patriotism, equality, diversity. Whether you are disabled or not, imu musoleti wo, imu sarahuleleti wo, imu jualati wo ne skill soto, you tick those form, yeta induction auto, mole afo eko bi, ibe mansakunda doku waleto. Imantara jan mandinkol ye, imantara jan surwal ye, imantara jan jolal ye. Ila service nyanta deliver la dameng, you must deliver it equally. Disabled people, women, men, old, young, equality commission on nyanta create la Gambia. Very soon, tribalism in public offices ma end lale. You understand? What commission on can also look at working with the PMO to deal with recruitment, retirement, opportunities, training budget, training needs, and in other things. Civil service reform nyanta nyin kuole sambala nang afele ifilta civil service reform auto. Munat ne yaje meta soksita domandi because mol silatala. So things were moving very quickly. So Gambian all, please, let's rise above nyim petty divisional mealonko. Ibuka jeno fang, ika mwele rekal mumandi koti, aman safe afongoto. Ibuka dia balo bala. Jola this day, ibuka dia balo. So munatina, we paying too much attention to it. You understand that? Jola doctor ole be jara la sama. Sarahule doctor ole be jara sama. sarahole bus driver be sambala school to wala la dokudula wala be dingol sambala school to difference on ying akabona mintole. Thank you very much to the viewers. Binto bantaba ila doko nyinyata molbe accused of all sorts of stuff. Ila platform, as far as I'm concerned, it has given opportunities to everyone in the Gambia.
Kana worry. Okay, kana worry.
So viewers always appreciate them.
Thank you.
We'll have a president, maybe a contact president or mentor.
Yes,
maybe they will not get 100% approval rating. But more baby dankine ala ko. Ha? Sign kai na president beto sotole because abe lori mo bele amantara jang si fatam fansola amantara jang discrimination la abakatara kuma kalantam fola na funtita lota mol kono aka molla hajo le diamo banko la hajo diamo ani membe kerin dunia to aka wala diamo, and I'm sure we're getting very close to that president in the Gambia but fonse nyo lamoy ala baraka bake.
Thank you. Mwah. Okay, big kiss again. Ngoelo nembine no malangana ngamuruna foyembay. Thank you. Ngala appreciate.
Ala baraka bake.
Thank you. Yo, alimbe mobe tankla kacha beteata kacha diata. Ko hada madingo mantima. Kuma fota jang toluma hada madingo doronet. Kuma fota jang biye mo mantora alsa ko boy ninye bar nim fonnin kele kacha kele. Mal tankla almanyo soto nendirlal alanga qualify. If it's not your way, you think that ko woman na kela. Ite amero ko dunia bete bulolo kono. We're not gonna have that. Until we are moving on. People are moving on. Nimmi mete favor ito ko woman betea. Ani ninga ka hormone mbunya kono as usual na jali ba fana fela yeman tankot. Alafo ba jali ba nanam. Nin ko be me favor doesn't mean that ko ite la moy lala. O ite kam fata doro yebo mo fay molka. No, it's not like that. Ite la moy ite be mim falin nanoje ite o fali. Ite fana be mim falin nano. Ite o fali. Bare kana si ka mol neng nendiro man bete. Ando nendiro buka yurwa samba. Na fali nalbe party support lalbe mol nen mol bali jekan. Karchele be mol bu. Ite be momo support ka. Ite ka neta ka mol ne. Ite amira ko that's okay. Mol te la karche dile. Mol to okay. And that won't be fair to the ika mom in support. Because what a kalanga niot. You know? So mtolbal danila na behavior nga change. All right? Now but all okay? Fana Gitteh tentunga Ahmad Gitteh BI program seriously ngala soto para cancel le post li puran into Gambia no le kacha andu nga tankola Lamin Tambs abala muradol na bondi na jenka ba fosfoy nana almanyo soto ngal tentu atul fi wasol wala sol ngal tentu ngal jayi ma fatu ngal tentu ngal jayi ke alfal yala hajol tunanje kanana ani alfal min be dun tananja tolla jam fentale jam fo hormone mbunya bal tentu lambali jayila be party leader be konton bira aduma fasanto be mo be konton atolu min ka safero ke ngal tentu ngal jayi al tolu min ka Allah hajo tuje ali nana ko mbal dafa tol ko to nyofot la ali ya understand ko la so bantal please so bantal ngal tentu ngal jayi ala baraka agree or disagree Gambia bel ngaji nyaado nyamale ko president barobe mararole ital candidate ni wal nata wol ba bu beta wala mna disagreement ando democracy lewo ala ena olewo ala so nite amre la leader ba ka go with civilized politics ite taye mol nene carte soto yebo so ni president baro you think that president baro mantara ke come on with your candidate yeah carte nyini all right ala baraka almanyo soto side below man ala baraka kachalo me to kachalo ala barak inalu bulala Samba thank you ala barak kasama ala barak billahi ala barakalu banjo soto dimasu ko to kalmalon be jamala sambala nan so Fridays alkanna pejo to jibe alwajala be jamala sambala ala barak dilo tata big kiss